Well, good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to ARABIAN Racecourse here in Doha for the second and middle day of His Highness the Emirs Sword Festival 2018. The weather is beautiful, just a breath of wind. We're up to about 28 degrees Celsius and set fair for a fantastic evening sport, culminating in the 2018 edition of the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup. Nick Luck alongside Gina Harding, my colleague from the UK. Mark Johnson will be calling the races. We'll be hearing from him very shortly, Gina, but a set fair for a great evening sport.
Yeah, we certainly are, and what a great way to set the tone yesterday with our opening day. So many tight finishes and handicaps. It really was thrilling fair, and we culminated in the feature race last night. But tonight we have the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Stakes at the end of the card, which is going to be a real treat because we've got international performers aplenty.
We have, and the key horse this evening really is the 10-year-old. Yes, he's 10 years old, well into the veteran stage, but no back number. Gordon Lord Byron, multiple Group and Grade 1 winner around the globe. He's won Group and Grade 1 races in England and Ireland and Australia, but he's run creditable races in Hong Kong as well, in Dubai, and here he is in Qatar, conquering yet another important racing nation to the tune of the lion's share of $200,000.
Yeah, and wouldn't it be some feat for Tom Hogan from Ireland if he could achieve that? As you say, he's had 83 lifetime starts, this horse. He's a 10-year-old now. He's won in 4 different countries, 3 Group 1s, including some real top-quality performances in the foray. Over different distances as well. He's won the 6 Furlong Sprint Cup in the UK, a mile race in Australia at Group 1 level. Whether he still retains that old spark remains to be seen, but I think he's certainly rated to be competitive tonight, and it would be fantastic if he could bring the house down a little bit later on.
And that and the Gulf Cup, the big prize for Arabians, teasing us really into tomorrow, where the 2 feature races are worth $1 million each. His Highness the Emir's trophy will precede His Highness the Emir's sword, and international representation throughout the card. You were telling me yesterday, 24 is it international competitors at this year's festival?
Yeah, exactly. It's a festival that continues to go from strength to strength and gain global significance. I think that's the key. New countries represented as well. New trainers here, Andrew Balding, Rafe Beckett, Hugo Palmer, all with runners tomorrow. So it's great to see new faces here. We've got an old favourite, Mario Hoffa, with a representative in tonight's final race with Diplomat. He's been here a number of times before and continues to show his support for the meeting. But we kick off with the Fragentry race, Nick, which really epitomises the international flavour of this meeting. It
does indeed, and with more details on that, we'll just say a very good evening now to Mark Johnson, our commentator, and then we'll take a look at some of the runners in the paddock. Mark, hi, how are you doing?
Very good, Nick, and a very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to day 2 of this great festival. The jockey's already in the paddock for our first race, the Longines World for Gentry Championship, which is run over 1,600 metres. Just to confirm a couple of changes in this race. First of all, we don't need the reserves here, so the full body of the field 10 will go to post, scratch the 11 and scratch the 12. Scratch 11 and 12. A couple of other notices with regard to weight here. The rider of the 4, Saab, is not able to claim in this race. This is a no-claim race, so scratch the claim for the rider on the 4 horse. And there's no weight on the 10, so Meismer, half a kilo over on the 10. And just before the horses are united with their riders for our first race, we do have a couple of changes a little bit deeper on today's card. Turn to race 4. We have 2 rider changes which we're announcing for the first time. In race number 4, the 9 horse Ream Seattle make the rider Mark Lerner. Mark Lerner will now ride the 9 Ream Seattle in race 4. Also in race 4, rider change on the 10 Ream Texas. Make the rider Anas Al-Siyabi. Anas Al-Siyabi will now ride the 10 Ream Texas in race number 4. There are no further changes to this evening's card. Our first race, time to start at 3:30. We are now around about 14 minutes from post time.
Thank you very much indeed, Mark. And we can take a look at the runners now who are in the paddock for our opening race, the Longines World for Gentry Championship. Many nations represented, and the first of those in terms of the riders is the United States of America. Bethany Baumgartner riding for them, and she rides number 1, the horse on the screen now for Jassim Ghazali. This is Wathanan, who's got some pretty good form in the context of this race. Took a maiden here just before the new year under Vaclav Janacek, and a reasonably decent run after that. Didn't really go on from that last time, but was in deep and on the dirt. So back on turf today in calmer waters Wathanan should go well here for Bethany Baumgartner, who finished third in the race last year. Gina.
Yeah, horse number 2 is Al Gauja and will be the mount of Josephine Chini from Sweden. Julian Smart is the trainer of this one and comes in off the back of some good performances, a couple of placed efforts at the end of last year before winning last time out on the dirt. A horse who seems to be improving and could go well here for Josephine.
Let's have a look at number 3, another grey. This is Al Mansab, ridden by Ramla Al Zajali. Ramla representing Oman. Now this is for Saab, and Saab will be ridden by the local rider, Qatari-based Khadija Abdul Wahid. As Mark told you a few moments ago, she's unable to claim in this race, so will carry the full weight here. The trainer Mohammed Al-Naimi, 1 for 35. Saab is not the most straightforward conveyance, but hopefully will give Khadija a good spin this afternoon.
So there's horse number 5, Al Hoja, who will be ridden by Fatima Al-Maji from Oman. Yusuf bin Taya Mild is the trainer, and a horse who also had some good form, won a maiden back in November before stepping into slightly hotter waters in a handicap last time, both of those starts on the dirt, and tries a slightly longer trip today, the 1600 metres, to try and eke out that little bit more improvement.
Number 6 is Oars. Oars will be ridden by Teresa Gavavchikova from the Czech Republic. Yet to win a race, this horse, but he has got some form that would give him some sort of a squeak here. But 0 from 25, not a particularly compelling profile for Oars, number 6.
Horse number 7 is Mujadar, who will be, is Ezars, I should say. Ezars is horse number 7 for Pierre-André Desmonas. Virginia Drexler from Hungary takes the ride on this one. And a horse who's been running fairly consistently at his level recently, and he could still have yet more improvement to come as well.
And Pierre trains Ezars for Al Shahania Stud, who had a very good day yesterday. Hello, Pierre.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you? Are you going to win this first race?
Well, I will, like last year, of course.
How confident are you, realistically?
There's some nice horses. I think it's going to be down to the jockey in this race. I think a very good experienced jockey helps. And then, and also, you know, the Arabian horses, so they're very unpredictable.
And just tell us how the jockey situation works here. Do you get to choose which of the for gentry lady riders you get, or do they get chosen for you?
No, it's a draw, just like the draw in the gates. It's a draw, and the lucky girl gets on the good horse. And then I won't call it the unlucky girl, but she has to work a bit harder for the others.
And Virginia Drexler's got plenty of experience.
She has. I was very lucky. Last year I was very lucky with a very good experienced jockey, and they won. So she's had quite a few winners already. So yeah, that's one reason why I'm confident.
Fingers crossed for you for a second success in this race. Good luck, Pierre.
Thank you.
Pierre Desmonas, who trains number 7, Ezars, the mount of Virginia Drexler. Just going a little off-piste there, Gina, but we can move on and talk about Mujahida.
Yeah, and that is the horse in shot. The jockeys have just got the leg up here in the paddock and represents the Jassim Ghasali stable. Ganina Al-Sukali is the jockey on board and does need to bounce back from a slightly below par performance last time. That came over 1,400 metres. Maybe the step up in trip could just see that little bit more improvement.
Number 9 here, just leaving the paddock, is Zakia Al-Majd, ridden by Ingrid Montenegro-Gard. Ingrid is from France. And this colt comes into this race in pretty good form. It's been ridden by local rider Rashid Al-Mari the last twice and has finished third on both occasions in big fields. And off this sort of rating, should be competitive, even though, again, he's still seeking a first career success after plenty of chances.
Well, just behind that one is horse number 10 as they head out to the track. And this one representing Switzerland, Naomi Heller, and trained by Alban Demir here in Doha. And looks one of the likely sorts here, very unexposed, stringing together some good efforts in the 2 starts we have seen of her here in Doha, and she's definitely one to keep on the right side of.
So just a word on the qualification here, purebred Arabians, and these riders are lady riders, members of their national clubs, and the national clubs must be members of the For Gentry organisation, which is the federation of gentlemen and lady riders around the world, so of the unpaid ranks, but some very experienced pilots here, and looking forward to hearing what Mark thinks might come home in front.
Thanks, Nick. runners making their way now across towards the starting point. Number 3, Al Mansab, was the one who was led to the starting point a long, long way ahead of the others, and his rider, Ramla Al Zajali, is just walking across towards the 1600 metres start now. The start for the 1600 metres, if you weren't with us here yesterday, or indeed watching our live broadcast online, that is on the starting chute, which is off to the far left-hand side of the enclosures. And this is always a start which sees races which tend to be run at a very fast early tempo as they try to get a position around the dogleg turn, which takes them into the back straight. Once again, as was the case here yesterday, the rail on the turf course is out in lane 2, which means it's out 5 metres from the inside, that ground on the inner, once again being saved for the big day here in just under 24 hours' time. So the runners now begin to arrive down at the starting point. Nick and Gina have already gone through quite a bit of the form and some of the riders. The most interesting horse for me in this race would be one of the fillies here, number 10, Samaisma. She's a daughter of the great Emer, much missed Emer, trained by Alban de Merle, who's looking for his first win of this 3-day festival, and has drawn a very good rider in Naomi Heller from Switzerland. Samaisma is unexposed. She's only had the 2 starts so far. She won a very, very good maiden race here over 1400 metres on her debut. Lots of horses came out of that race and went on to win next time. And then she was just a little disappointing. She took on winners for the first time on her second start. That was at the Derby Festival, and she ran here on Derby Day and could only finish 4th that day in a course and distance 3-year-old local Arabian plate, which she's obviously thought a great deal of. She's beautifully bred, and she shouldn't be inconvenienced now by the step up for the second time to 1600. So she might well be the one they've got to beat. She's not badly drawn at all coming out of gate number 2. Now most of the runners have arrived down at the starting point. Julian Smart, the trainer, already with a winner on the board here with Reader in our feature race yesterday evening. And he's represented by Al Gorja in this race. Al Gorja, a winner on dirt over the 1700 metres here last time out, ridden by Sweden's Josephine Chini, and a son of No Risk Al Mori, who was an extremely versatile and very, very good horse over in the UK. A multiple Grade 1 winner over in the UK. And Al Gorja will be breaking from post position 6. So the runners have arrived at the start. Al Mansab has now been reunited with Ramla Al Zajali. We'll keep an eye on Al Mansab at the start as well, coming out of stall 4, because he is a horse who has caused a few problems at the gate, and indeed here at the Derby meeting he unseated his rider coming out of the starting stalls. So keep an eye on him coming out of the centre of the gate. There is the hooded head of number 4, Saab, a winner over course and distance back in April of 2015. Saab now just 1 for 34 in his career. His best run for a long time, however, came 3 starts ago, back in January, when he was 3rd in a 1200 metre race on the turf. That was a local Arabian conditions race. That was a real return to form for him. The only problem is he hasn't stepped up on that, and he's been rather disappointing now in his last couple of starts. There is the horse I'm most interested in. That is Samaisma, once again, named after an area just outside of the city. And there's the trainer, Alban de Merle, still looking for his first win of this festival. So it won't be too long before they begin to load up for race 1, the Longines World for Gentry Championship. black and the white colours there of the United States, Bethany Baumgartner, who rides number 1 AJS Wathanan. Bethany, a very, very accomplished rider, and not just on the flat either. She's ridden plenty of winners over jumps in the United States. She's ridden winners over timber. She's ridden in the Maryland Hunt Cup. Very, very capable and experienced international rider. She's been a standing dish of the US for gentry scene now for several years. She's riding for Jazim Ghazali on AJS Wathanan, who was a winner here over the extended 1,800 meters as his one victory. And AJS Wathanan, with the camera above him, goes in the first rank, next door to Samaisma. So two major players here drawn against each other, coming out of gates 2 and 3. Into gate number 8, the maiden, Izars, with Hungary's Virginia Drexler. To the outside post 10, Mujahida. Mujahida's only win came in a for gentry race, but that was back in December of 2015 when Mujahida won a course and distance for gentry race for gentlemen amateur riders. Can lightning strike twice for Mujahida in a for gentry event? We're down now to the last 3 to load. Saab is about to go forward now into gate number 7. Last 2 to move in are Al Horja going in now. So we isolate Al Horja to the inside post. They're in the gate. And they're off. They race for the Longines World for Gentry Championship over 1,600 metres. Rather slow to begin was Oars, and so too Al Mansab. Flashing speed towards the outside is Mujahida in the early stages. Also Zakia Al Majed out wide wants a piece of the early action. Saab drifts towards the inside rail in third, and they've gone very hard through the first 250, and it's Mujahida towards the outside of Zakia Al Majed, who are the first 2 down the back stretch. Saab is racing in a clear third with Samaisma on the outside, nicely settled in 4th. Al Horja is racing in 5th, takes 4th through on the inside. Next to the field is Izaz, who's racing towards the outside of Al Mansab, and then towards the rear of the field is Al Gorja. Still towards the rear as well is Oars, and the back marker is AJS Wathnan. They're in the turn, less than 800 to go, and it's still Mujahida who has got the lead. Mujahida out wide. To the rail is Zakia Al Majed. Now Saab switches wide, and wider still is Samaisma. And Samaisma will be 4 wide as they make the turn in. Izaz is now making ground as they swing the corner with just over 400 to go. And now no less than 6 of them are split by only a couple of lengths. But it is Samaisma and Switzerland's Naomi Heller who go for home. Saab is giving chase. Izaz on the inside. Next, Mujahida, and out very wide, Al Gorja is staying on late. They're inside the final 150, and it is the promising filly, Samaisma, who is going clear for Switzerland's Naomi Heller, and it will be Samaisma who now makes it 2 wins from 3 career starts. Tight for second between Al Gorja, who stayed on towards the outside of Izaz, and back in 4th was Saab. First winner of His Highness the Emirs Sword Festival for that gentleman, Alban de Merle, and for Khan Racing as the very, very promising, beautifully bred daughter of Amir, Samaisma, has won our opening contest and a first win here in Qatar at ARABIAN racecourse for Switzerland's Naomi Heller. And despite being pushed a little wide, Samaisma has come home to very much frank the very, very strong promise she showed on her debut just 3 starts ago. It's going to be very tight for second, and the judges are having a look at that now, and I think we may leave that to the placing judges. Near side was the 2 Al Gorja, and on the inside was the 7 Izaz. So a photo for second place, but no doubt about the winner, and that is Naomi Heller driving Samaisma to victory for Alban de Merle.
Here she is then back into the winner's circle, Samaisma. Mark was telling you how promising she'd been on her debut. It was a wide margin victory that day, and she was thrown in to a pretty decent race here just before the new year. And Alban wasn't particularly confident that day. It was another step on her progression, and in against lesser opposition today, she's just looked in a different league, despite being forced quite wide on the sharpest part of the track. She didn't have the best of the draw, but she's certainly the most interesting contender in here. And Alban's just hearing from the rider, Naomi Heller, how it was done. A win for Switzerland in this for Gentry Championship, and we'll do the presentation in a few minutes' time, and we'll be introducing you to all the for Gentry competitors. And Gina is just hot-footing it round to cut off Naomi at the pass.
And here is our winning jockey, Naomi Heller. A really good performance from this filly. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's a very nice horse. She went, and she was alone in front, watching a bit, but she just ran. And she was always listening, is there another coming? But she went.
Intelligent horse.
Yes, really, she's ambitious.
And you were caught wide on the bend, but you always knew you had plenty in the engine?
Yes, but I wanted to weigh more behind another horse. But she went like so well, so strong, so I let her and waited a bit because I knew 400 meters is a lot.
And how's your experience been so far of Doha and of the for Gentry series?
Awesome. It's amazing. It's my first time here, and it's like a dream came true.
And a winner to boot as well. Congratulations.
It's incredible. Thank you very much.
And it always helps in these competitions if you have the assistance of the leading trainer here in Qatar. Alban de Meulen is with me now. And Alban, this horse, Samaisma, she looked very promising on her debut, and you threw into quite a deep race last time. This was more like it today.
Yes, it's a nice filly, you know, and for the kind of race like that, she's easy to ride for the, I will say for the people like that. I mean, you don't need to push, she's just holding the filly, and she's going well in this kind of horses. But it's a third race for this filly, so I'm happy how she do today. I was a little bit worried in the last turn because I saw outside. I don't know what will happen, but at least she won easy.
She did. She won very comfortably. It must give you quite a lot of pleasure to be able to provide somebody like Naomi a day that she will never forget. You saw her smile there. She said, awesome. She's not going to forget this in a hurry.
I hope it's a nice day for her, and everything is fine now.
And for you, you went winless yesterday, which is very unusual for you at this festival, but straight away on the board today, and the best yet to come. You must be very excited about the runners for the rest of the meet.
Yes, of course. A little disappointing yesterday. You know, you're a trainer, you are here to win some race. But anyway, today is a good start, so I hope we will keep going like that tomorrow also.
Alban, well done.
Thank you.
Alban de Meulen, who has taken the first race, the for Gentry Riders race here, with Samaisma in the hands of Naomi Heller. They are all weighing in the jockeys' room, as you can see up on the big screen now, and we will bring you the presentation for the for Gentry race very shortly indeed.
Now the confirmed result of race number 1, the Longines World for Gentry Championship. First, number 10, Samaisma. Second, number 2, Al Gorja. Third, number 7, Izaz. Fourth was number 4, Saab. And the fifth horse was 6, Oars. 10, 2, 7 and 4. Run time 1:49.24 seconds. 1:49 and 1/5. Race 1 is now official.
جاهزة. إذن بسم الله نبدأ وعلى بركته نتوكل. انطلاقة أول الأشواط من اليوم الثاني من سباق سيدي سمو الأمير بطولة لونجين بجنتريا العالمية تنطلق الآن في مضمار الريان تحديدا في العاصمة دوحة. الشوط الأول شوط الخيل العربية الأصيلة لإنتاج محلي بمشاركة 10 من الجهات 8 أو 7 دول مختلفة تشارك وتتواجد هنا في بطولة لونجين بجنتريا العالمية. الصدارة والمركز الأول مع رقم 9 زاخر المجد مع السيد راشد علي الصعاق المري مع الخيال الفرنسية إنجريد مونترو على المركز الأول. التحركات من الجهة الخارجية مع مجاهدة السيد خليفة بن شعيل الكواري غنيمة الشكيلي على الصدارة حاليا. المركز الثالث رقم 4 صعب محمد خالد الخليفة مع الخيال القطرية خديجة عبد الواحد على ثالث المراكز. رابعا شعار السادة أم قرن مع اسمها السادة أم قرن وناومي هلا في المركز الرابع. خامسا الشعار الأخضر وشاهد الهوجاء راشد بن مبارك النعيمي فاطمة المنجي في المركز الخامس. إنما المركز السادس مع إعزاز مربط الشحانية في تقدم مع الخيال الهنغارية فيرجينيا. شوف الصدارة والمركز الأول مع رقم 8 لا تزال للجواد مجاهدة خليفة بن شعيل الكواري. إنما التحركات من الجهة الخارجية مع اسمها السادة أم قرن في تحرك قوي مع ناومي هلا. التحركات أيضا نشاهدها مع خديجة عبد الواحد رقم 4 الجواد صعب. الخط المستقيم باتجاه خط النهاية إعزاز من الجهة الداخلية رقم 7 إعزاز مع الخيال الهنغارية فيرجينيا دريكسار. السادة مربط الشحانية في تقدم قوي الآن لكن اسمها مع الخيال السويسرية ناومي هلا على المركز الأول باندفاع قوي فعلا. المحاولة مع إعزاز في المركز الثاني. المركز الثالث مع الغوجاء ولكن اسمها مع الخيال السويسرية فعلا ناومي هيلر إلى المركز الأول للسادة أم قرن. أيها السيدات والسادة
So we come to the presentation for our opening race of the night for local purebred Arabians, the first leg of the Longines World for Gentry Championships. And we're delighted to welcome Abdullah Al-Khabaisi onto the stage, as well as Ali Vance from CNN. And our congratulations go to the winner in impressive fashion, say Massima, and our winning jockey from Switzerland, Naomi Heller. Our congratulations are also extended to our winning trainer, who is also representing the owners, Kwan. First win at the meeting for Alban Demure. And finally, we're also delighted to welcome onto the trophy podium the president of For Gentry this wonderful season for gentlemen and lady amateurs, Elie Honor. So a hugely exciting filly, this Massima, no doubt with a big future ahead of her. And a brilliant way to kick off this For Gentry series. The first of 14 legs and a first win on the board for Naomi Heller. Congratulations to all of the connections of the winner of our opening race.
And a special presentation now being made. Abdullah Khabaisi to Elie Honor, president of the For Gentry, on behalf of everybody here at Al Rayyan and everybody responsible for the running of His Highness the Emirs Sword Festival 2018. And it is great once again to welcome For Gentry and Elie back to Doha. And thank you very much for your support.
سباق سيدي سمو الأمير. بالتأكيد المرحلة الثانية والانطلاقة الأولى والفريق الأول عبد العزيز جابر ضرمان مع البتيل. نعم الانطلاقة الأولى مع عبد العزيز جابر ضرمان وعلي خالد المسلم. بسم الله نبدأ وعلى بركته نتوكل. الانطلاقة الأولى بين الجوادين سنجار الخالدية والبتيل. المنافسة فعلا قوية بين الجهاد العربية الأصيلة ورياضة الآباء والأجداد. بطولة السابق في أول الفرق فعلا عبد العزيز جابر ضرمان وعلي خالد المسلم من الجهة الداخلية. المسلم على الصدارة والمحاولة مع عبد العزيز ضرمان ولكن المسلم على الصدارة. فعلا الانطلاقة الأولى شاهدناها. الانطلاقة إذن مع الفريق الثاني محمد عبد الله جمعة وصفقة والشيخ عبد الله بن مشعل الثاني ومنجم. والانطلاقة فعلا الانطلاقة بين منجم الشيخ عبد الله بن مشعل بن حمد الثاني مع منجم وصفقة مع محمد عبد الله الشامسي من الجهة الخارجية. صفقة الآن ومنجم في منافسات قوية مع الفريق الثاني. صفقة ومنجم في منافسات قوية. منجم على الصدارة صفقة من الجهة الخارجية. منجم وصفقة في منافسة قوية. منجم إلى المرحلة الثالثة. أيها السيدات والسادة منجم الشيخ عبد الله بن مشعل بن حمد الثاني. نشوف المنافسة القادمة. سالم الفهيدة مع العيار وحمد النابت مع منيف. إذن نشاهد سالم الفهيدة مع العيار من الجهة الداخلية بالمرشحة الحمراء وحمد النابت مع منيف من الجهة الخارجية. الانطلاقة ونتمنى السلامة إن شاء الله. فعلا الانطلاقة والمركز الأول مع سالم الفهيدة من الجهة الخارجية. سالم المحاولة من الجهة الداخلية مع حمد النابت ولكن الصدارة والمركز الأول مع سالم الفهيدة. ناموس إلى المرحلة الثالثة. إذن 3 هدات حتى الآن. إذن 3 هدات انتهينا منها. عبد العزيز ضرمان شيخ عبد الله بن مشعل الثاني وسالم الفهيدة.
This is a selfie with
So, on we move, ladies and gentlemen, to our next race. And the runners are already in the paddock. What a beautiful afternoon it is now as well. Perfect afternoon for racing. And good to have you all with us here at Al Rayyan. We can have a look at these. This is a purebred Arabian maiden plate. Quite hard to gauge the relative strands of form here and indeed gauge the strength of one or two of those that have never run or only run a couple of times. But we've got Mark Johnson on hand to assist very shortly. We'll take you through these one by one. We'll start with number 1, Lafan Gina. who's been a little disappointing the last couple of times. They've tried this grey by Amr in all types of race. He doesn't seem to be progressing particularly. Salim Golub takes the right, Ibrahim Al-Malki.
And horse number 2 is equally highly tried, a maiden in 11 starts so far. One positive being that he's run over slightly further distance, 2,000 meters, so does have stamina in the armory, but is going to need to put a little bit more in today than what we've seen in previous runs.
A rather late in the day debut for the next horse we can have a look at, number 3. This is Casses for Mohamed Ashur and Carlo Fiocchi. Somewhat belated debut for this colt. And he's not been done any favours because he's been drawn in stall 16 as well.
Jockeys just receiving their instructions here in the paddock. And we can look at horse number 4 now, Fanan for Mohamed Hussein Afroz. Eduardo Pedroso takes the mount on this one. Just had the one run so far. That was on dirt over a slightly shorter trip and a promising enough effort to suggest there could be more to come.
Next in the paddock, quite an imposing horse, tall horse, number 5, Hatem. One for Julian Smart and Al-Shahania here, who struck in the big race yesterday. Theo Bachelot, who's been riding so many winners for this stable, is in the plate. And he's up in distance today. He's looked a little bit one pace, but he's certainly got the ability to figure in a race like this.
Horse number 6 is the next up, Ishfaq, who could have a good chance under Martin Harley here. Just had the one run and finished second first time out. But we'll go straight on to horse number 8 here in the paddock, which is the order they are parading in here. There's the colours of Al-Shahania Stad and Dean Levy from the operation in shot. But there is horse number 8, who runs in the colours of Mr. Khalifa bin Shail, who will be represented, of course, in the big race tomorrow. Saab Al-Manal is the horse in question for Jassim Ghazali. JP Guillenberg, who enjoyed such a brilliant night of it last night with 2 winners on the card. And he's looking for another here aboard this horse, who has strung together some good placed efforts and could well be one of those figuring in the closing stages.
And there are 2 in this race for Mohamed Salam Ashur. One of those is Casses, the newcomer. The other one, distinguishing gold cap, is Anida. He'll be ridden by Kelly Harrison this evening. I ran okay on dirt last time, but she shouldn't really be up to this. She's 0 from 10, and it doesn't look like an imminent winner is back on turf today, however.
And there's horse number 10, Dibaj. She'll be ridden by Harry Bentley for Jassim Ghazali in the same colours, same ownership as Mr. Khalifa bin Shail Al Kuwari. And has just had the 5 runs and already run an excellent race at a higher level than this when finishing 4th in the Oaks over the course and distance in December. So must have a leading shout here today.
One place in front of her on that occasion was the filly who's right behind, Jumana. Thomas Lukasek rode 2 winners here yesterday on the first day of the Emirs Sword Festival, looking for another today. Stall 11, Jumana, who was 3rd in that Oaks, but really should have done better last time out. And it might have been the drop in distance that mitigated against that. And back up to 2,000 metres, she's not without a chance here, number 11.
Next horse we can see on the screen is the filly Harima for Alban Demir, looking for a quick fire double after success in these same colours, the Mkwan team in our first race. Horse has only had 3 runs so far in Qatar and been placed a couple of times, and reverts back to the longer trip, which saw her finish 4th 2 starts ago back over the 2,000 metres.
Yeah, then we spin back to 13, Baltique de Solari for Hamed Al-Jahani and Pier Antonio Convertino. It hasn't really cut much ice so far in 2 starts, but both of those have been on the dirt, so could do a little bit better on the turf this evening.
And horse number 14 is Monfarid, who looks to have a leading chance on form. Over a slightly longer distance of 2,200 metres last time, finished an excellent 3rd. That was in the Silver Cup. Represents Al Shakab Racing for Hassin Hashur, and Fale Bugenheim takes the mount.
Yasin had a winner yesterday as well, as did Faleh Bouganem. Indeed, they took the first race of the Emirs Sword Festival. And there they are in the paddock. We can take a look at the remaining duo. 15 Razad for Khan, looking to complete a quick-fire double for Alban Demiol, and would have a chance of doing so as well. One really good run in a maiden on dirt, and then a little bit disappointing on turf, but that was in a really good race. Back into maiden company today. And this Stefan Lajaj ridden colt would be another one for the shortlist, and there is the trainer, Alban Demiol.
And finally, number 16 then for Pierre Desmonas, who had to settle for the minor placings in the opening race, looking to go a couple better in this. And this is a potential improver over the longer trip, trying the 2,000 metres today with Mark Lerner on board. And that concludes our field of 16 here for this second race of the afternoon. Purebred Arabian plate as the runners head down to post. There is Harry Bentley looking for another winner at this festival, one of the leading jockeys here in Qatar. And we'll find out how they get on very shortly. Let's get up and join Mark Johnson.
Thanks so much indeed, Gina. So runners making their way down to the 2,000 metre start, which is in the home straight. Just cantering the post down, the white with the blue hollow box white cap, Saab Al Manal. With the blue cap, same ownership, Dibaj and Harry Bentley. The light blue and white stripes of Jumana KB, Thomas Lukasek, heading for his third win of this festival. One of the two Khan runners, Harima next, Jean-Baptiste Damel. The yellow sleeves and cap of Baltic de Solare, followed by Monfarid in the Al Shakab silver and gold. As they complete the journey to the start, the last one to go down is one of the 5 fillies and mares in the field, Canoes, the mount of Mark Lerner. So I'm going to try and pick out one or two of these down at the starting point for you as they congregate down at the far end of the home straight. The starting stalls will very shortly be brought back across onto the track. They start around about 300 metres or so down the course. So they've got over a circuit of the track ahead of them. One of them just causing a few problems down at the start is number 1, AJS Lafan at the moment, just getting a little bit edgy. And they are putting a hood on him now down at the start. So let's take a look at one or two of these down at the start. There you saw Faleh Bouganem in the Al Shakab colours, and he's got a very interesting ride here as he bids for his second win of this festival on Monfarid. And Monfarid has been a horse who's been waiting to win a race for a very, very long time. Now having his 10th career start, but he brings some proper class form to this particular party. He's raced 3 times here in Qatar. His one-placed effort was a third last time out. That was over the 2200. That was in His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Khalifa Al Thani's Silver Cup. The race that was won by the very, very classy Easter de Faust. If he's able to replicate that kind of form here, then he would take a great deal of beating. There is one very interesting angle with Monfarid today, and that is the piece of equipment. You'll notice next to his name in the race card is that he has TT next to his name, and that means that he's running with a tongue tie. He's a son of the great American horse TM Fred Texas, who was the first Arabian racehorse to ever win a race at Churchill Downs, and TM Fred Texas went on, of course, to be a Grade 1 winner as well in Dubai. The one thing about his progeny is that virtually all of his horses tend to run best when they are tongue-tied, and the fact that Monfarid has got the tongue tie on to help his breathing for the first time today might well be the oracle that will finally put him into the winner's enclosure. His trainer and jockey already with a winner this weekend, number 14 Monfarid, might well be one of the ones they've got to beat here. Very green on the way to the start was number 3 Casses, but is worth noting because Casses is the only debutant in the field. Carlo Fiocchi has the ride. Nick mentioned the draw for this horse. 16 is a terrible draw for a horse on debut, but the breeding is quite interesting. No less than a half-brother to 7 winners, including 4 who've managed to win here in Qatar. So the breeding suggests that Casses might well be a player if greenness and that very wide post position doesn't compromise his chance, but he was extremely green on the way down to the starting point. The loading up operation then is well advanced. Into stall 1, Mosen, nearest to us. Christian De Muro has the ride on Mosen. As the last 2 or 3 begin to move forward, they're loading very quickly here for this Arabian maiden race. The last one moving in is Baltic de Solari, and they're off. So maidens away and racing over 2,000, and a little slow to begin was the newcomer Casses, but drops in towards the inside. Anida is sent on, and so too towards the inside, showing early speed is Ishfaq, but it will be Anida and Kelly Harrison who lead the charge into the first turn. Anida is out in front by just about a length. Racing in second is Hatem. Towards the outside, Saab Al-Manal is racing in third as they go into the turn. Ishfaq is up against the inside rail. Dibage has got a good early position for Harry Bentley. Then Aziz Nafs as they go towards the back straight. Monfarid is on the heels of that leading group, with around that one's outside Saab Al-Manal. Next in the field towards the inside races Mosen alongside Harima as they make the run into the back. Next in the field is Razad is followed by Canoes towards the inside. Then the pale blue of Jumana KB, who's got more in front than behind. So too as AJS Lafan, who's been ridden along. Casses is still towards the rear, and so too is Fanan. They've gone through halfway, less than 1,000 to go, and Anida still has the lead. Anida is out in front by a neck, racing in second position, and now closing towards the outside is Hatem, and Hatem has now picked up the running. Now making ground around the outside is Dibage as they go into the turn with 700 ahead of them. The leader is Hatem as they take the turn. Dibage is now racing in second. Ishfaq is in third and now being ridden along. Saab Al-Manal is in fourth. Those that begin to tail off include Baltic de Solari, who is now the back marker. Casses is tailed off, and Nida, the early leader, is also tailed off as they make the turn for home. It is still Hatem and Theo Bachelot out in front. Down the outside, Dibage in second. On the inside is Ishfaq. Now the silver of Monfarid begins to find his stride as it snaps towards the inner, followed by Mosen, who's very wide but challenging inside the final 150. On the inside, it is Hatem. On the near side, Mosen. Between them is Ishfaq as they race up towards the line. It's going to be very tight. Ishfaq in the centre. Towards the far side came Hatem, and on the near side was Mosen, but I think it might have been in the centre that Ishfaq had his head down on the line, and if he has, it's a win for Pierre Desbonaz and for Martin Harley. That is a photo finish. Photo finish for the win for our Pure Arabian maiden plate over 2,000. There is Pierre Desbonaz, has a smile on his face, and I think he has got the victory with Ishfaq, who came into this race unexposed, just the one run so far. Qatari bred, ran second on debut, and in the centre, in very much blue and white finish. I think he has just got those royal blue blinkers up in the final few strides. He has, little doubt there, that it is number 6, Ishfaq, a son of Astra Min Al-Baq, who has won. Martin Harley, who got here 24 hours later than he had originally expected or hoped, but his first ride of the weekend is a winner, and still a photo going on to decide the second between the two who finished on either wing. That horse in the centre of shot, Hatem, and also involved was Mosen, but no doubt about the winner on that evidence. Number 6, Ishfaq.
Well, quite a notable performance this from Ishfaq. Not only because Pierre Demonaz, who thought he might win the first race, has gone one better in the very next race, but also because this horse leads home a 1, 2, 3, 4 for the owner, or the affiliate stud operation of the owner, Sheikh Khalifa bin Mohammed bin Khalifa Al Thani and Al Shahani stud. So congratulations to Pierre and to the whole Al Shahania team. Dean Levy just getting the debrief from the rider Martin Harley. Martin was due to be here yesterday, as Mark told you, but had one or two travel problems. But, he's made it here this evening. And the first rider's a winning one, threading the eye of the needle to get up close home. And Julian Smart will be pleased with his horses, finishing second and third. But it is number 6 here, number 6, that is obliged in race 2. Ishfaq, and full of life as well. And here is Gina with the winning rider.
Yeah, Martin Harley is here, first ride of the meeting and a winning one.
Yeah, no, he done that well. I haven't had many rides in Ireland, but he's quite a nice one. He jumped well and travelled around very nice and made my life very easy. But he was very gutsy in the last furlong, and it's obviously his only second run of his life, so he's going to improve from that again.
And it was quite a tight old finish, but did you know you had plenty in the tank coming into the closing stage?
I did, but when them Arabs, you don't know if they're going to keep going or pull up. But no, full credit to the horse, and Peter, they done a good job, and he was confident going out, he had run well. Finishing second first start, and he improved one better today.
Good start to proceedings. You've got a nice book of rides over the next couple of days. Looking forward to it. Yeah,
no, for sure. It's nice to come out here and get greeted with a few rides and get your feet to the track, and it's always a new land, you know. But I have a nice ride for David O'Mara on Saturday, which I'm out for. And yeah, hopefully he doesn't have a great draw, but if he can overcome that, he'll be thereabouts.
Well, good start, well done.
Thank you.
We now have the result of our second race, the Purebred Arabian Maiden Plate. First, number 6, Ishfaq. Second was number 7, Mosen. Third, number 5, Hatem. Fourth, number 16, Kunuz. And the fifth horse was number 14, Monfarid. 6, 7, 5 and 16. The run time 2 minutes 17.45 seconds. Race 2 now official.
البوابة رقم 6 إشفاق ريدي اند اوف. ايها السيدات والساده، انطلق ثاني الاشواط من ثاني الايام في سباق سيدي السمو الامير للخيل العربيه الاصيله المبتدئه في مسافه 2000 متر، مسافه الميل وربع الميل. ينطلق الان 16 من الجهاز المبتدئه التي لم تفز حتى الان. ينطلق على الصداره وعلى المركز الاول الجواد اللي يشارك لاول مره كاسياس على المركز الاول يا ساده، مربط زاخر مع كارلو فيوتشي بتدريب محمد سلامة عاشور على الصدارة وعلى المركز الأول. المركز الثاني حاتم للسادة مربط الشحانية على الثاني المراكز. ثالثا عندنا إشفاق للشيخ خليفة بن محمد بن خليفة الثاني مع مارتن هارلي. رابعا شعار السيد خليفة بن شعيل الكواري مع ديباج في المركز الرابع. المركز الخامس صعب المنال أيضا للسيد خليفة بن شعيل الكواري. سادسا شعار المهندس أسامة عمر الدفع مع عزيز نفس. المركز السابع أشاهد الجواد اللي هو بالتك دي سولاري عبد العزيز بن خالد الربان من الجهة الخارجية. من وسط الجهات شعار الشقب ريسنج، والتقدم الآن أشاهده مع منفرد أحد الجهات المرشحة لهذا الشوط مع فالح بغنيم على الصداء على المركز السادس تقريبا. التحركات من وسط الجهات لكنوز للشيخ خليفة بن محمد بن خليفة الثاني مع مارك ليرنر بن الفحل جعفر ASF. عودة للصدارة وعودة للمركز الأول. هنا عملية تغيير المشهد وعملية خطف الصدارة من الجواد اللي هو حاتم للسادة مربط الشحانية تيو باتلو في تقدم قوي. التحرك الآن على المركز الثاني لديباج خليفة بن شعيل الكواري مع هاري بنتلي في المركز الثالث. المركز الثالث الآن أشاهد الجواد صعب المنال خليفة بن شعيل الكواري أيضا، ولكن الشحانية وعملية اكتساح الصدارة مع الجواد إشفاق ابن أسرع من البرق للشيخ خليفة بن محمد بن خليفة الثاني. الصدارة الآن مع حاتم والمركز الثاني مع الجواد اللي هو ديباج. التحركات مع منفرد بأدائه من الجهة الخارجية لا يزال في وضع اليد. الخط المستقيم باتجاه خط النهاية. التحركات من الجهة الخارجية. الشحانية تهاجم من الجميع الجهات، ولكن الصدارة لا تزال مع رقم 5 حاتم على الصدارة. منفرد الآن من الجهة الخارجية، وأيضا يشاهد إشفاق وكنوز أيضا. كنوز على الصدارة وحاتم الآن من الجهة الداخلية، ومن وسط الجهة الأسرع من البركة مشاهد التحركات المركز الأول مع رقم 7 محسن. وفعلا أيها السيدة، إذن أيها المتابعين الكرام نشاهد الانطلاقة أو استكمال المرحلة الثانية لبطولة السابق مع الفريق الرابع. استكملنا 3 فرق. نعم، راح تكون الانطلاقه مع الفريق الرابع. عبد الله مبارك المعاضيد مع العريق، وغانم بن محمد المعاضيد مع المسترسل. ابناء المعاضيد يتنافسون في هذا الشوط ويتنافسون في هذه الهده. احد الجهات المرشحه بالتاكيد العريق، الجواد والاسم الاقوى المشارك في هذه البطوله، بطوله السابق. وايضا عندنا المسترسل مع غانم المعاضيد. نشوف الانطلاقة. المسترسل راح يكون من الجهة الداخلية الجواد الأشقر، وأيضا عندنا من الجهة الخارجية العريق. المحاولات الآن مع العريق، دائما ما يواجه مشاكل نوعا ما في الدخول إلى البوابة العريق، لكن إن شاء الله أن الأمور طيبة. إذا العريق إلى البوابة، العريق إلى بوابات الانطلاق، ونقول بسم الله. إذن أيها السيدات والسادة الانطلاقة الرابعة، الفريق الرابع عبد الله مبارك المعاضيد من الجهة الخارجية، نشوفها على يمين الشاشة مع العريق، ومن الجهة الداخلية عندنا غانم المعاضيد مع المسترسل. بكل أريحية عبد الله المعاضيد مع العريق على المركز الأول وعلى الصدارة، المسترسل من الجهة الداخلية، ولكن عبد الله بكل أريحية على الصدارة وعلى المركز الأول وإلى المرحلة الثالثة. ناموس يا عبد الله، تستاهل. عبد الله المعاضيد إلى المرحلة الثالثة.
So we come now to the presentation for our second race this afternoon, and we welcome Abdullah Khabaisi from the Qatar Racing and Equestrian Club up onto the presentation podium to present the winners' trophies for the victory of Ishfaq. First of all, to the winning rider here today, Martin Harley. And Ishfaq was trained by the man who trained the runner-up in the first race. It's been a good day for him, Pierre Desmonaz. And this was a notable race because the first 4 home, all racing under the Al Shahania banner, and this one in the colours of Sheikh Khalifa bin Mohammed bin Khalifa Al Thani, and representing His Highness, please welcome Abdul Rahman Mansour.
إذا أيها السيدات والسادة شفنا تتويج الشوط الثاني والفوز مع الجواد محسن والجواد إشفاق للشيخ خليفة بن محمد بن خليفة الثاني. تهانينا والف مبروك للفائزين. نستكمل معكم مجريات بطولة السابق والشوط أو الفريق الخامس. الفريق الخامس عندنا ياسر المسلم وصالح المري، علي بابا ومجد السليمي. علي بابا من الجهة الداخلية، وعندنا من الجهة الخارجية مجد السليمي ياسر المسلم. المحاولات مع مجد السليمي إلى الدخول إلى بوابات الانطلاق. ياسر المسلم مع مجد السليمي. محاولة الدخول إلى بوابات الانطلاق. إذن الجهة جاهزة والهدة جاهزة. إذن أيها السيدات والسادة الانطلاقة علي بابا انطلق الحالة مع صالح المري. انطلاقة خاطئة. إذا انطلاقة خاطئة راح تعاد هذه الهدة بين علي بابا ومجد السليمي. علي بابا ومجد السليمي.
So we come to our third race of the evening here. It's the Thoroughbred Plate for 3-year-olds. It's a Class 4 contest. 1,200 metres is the trip, and the runners are making their way into the parade ring now for this third race of the day. 9 runners will go to post, so smaller field than what we've had in our first couple of races. And we start, Nick, with horse number 1.
That's right, Jeannie, we do. Number 1 is Al Modajal, a colt by Dawn Approach, trained by Jassim Ghazali. And Martin Harley, well, he's trying to double up very quickly. He won on his first ride here in Doha just a few moments ago, and he's on this quite good-looking colt who hasn't really gone on the last couple of times, but he's been quite highly tried, and this might just be a little easier.
And there is Thomas Lukacek, who rides the second of the horses we're going to look at. Barag, after 2 winners on the card yesterday. He's looking to get this meeting off to a good start as well. And he rides this Hadi Al-Ramzani trained gelding, a colt in fact, who put in a good performance on first run here in Doha. Finished 5th on that occasion. That was over the same course and distance as today, so entitled to improve now on his second run here in Qatar.
You can see Pierantino Convertino in shot there, receiving instructions from trainer Debbie Mountain. They will be represented by number 3, Black Orange. We will have a look at him in a minute. That is number 4, Ladan, for Salim Golem and Zaher Mosen. Well down the field in a maiden last time, but wasn't too bad a racehorse in France. He's by Stile Vendôme, and he might just need a little bit of time to acclimatise by the looks of things.
So the next horse we're going to look at is number 5, Masked Defender, a colt by First Defence. He's trained by Jassim Ghazali, and he'll be ridden by Oisin Murphy, one of the visiting jockeys from the UK. A horse who's won already here in Doha. That was over a longer trip than today, but on the dirt, and he's returning back to the 1,200 metres, which he has got form over, so shouldn't be a problem. And he's one that could certainly be in the mix here, Masked Defender. And Jassim Ghazali, his trainer, with several runners in the field, giving instructions to the jockey, Oisin among them in the centre there, the white and maroon colours.
6 is Random Decision. Good-looking gelding by Exceed and Excel. Good second last time under today's rider, Theo Bachelot. That was on the dirt, back to turf today. And if he can translate that form back to this surface, then he's a player. But his previous efforts on the turf were none too inspiring.
And there is Theo Bachelot receiving his instructions from Hadi Al-Ramzani. Horse number 7 then is Showbrom for Eduardo Pedrosa and Ibrahim Al-Malki. He's been in good form recently, strung together a couple of wins, albeit on the dirt, both of those over these sprint trips. Back on the turf today, so a different surface to contend with, but he comes in here in rude health.
Beckton is the next one we'll be able to see in the paddock. Beckton is number 8, and he's a horse who ought to have, she's a horse I should say, who ought to have a fairly decent future here in Doha, judged on her efforts in Great Britain and her debut here in this country, when she was only beaten half a length in a 3-way go for a maiden race. 1,200 metres might ultimately prove a little bit on the sharp side, but at least we know she'll run through the line, and she's got man in form JP Guillambert in the plate.
And equally, the Pantry has had just the 1 run here in Doha. Finished 3rd, was beaten quite a bit further than the aforementioned Beckton, but certainly entitled to improve after that just 1 run here in Doha. Harry Bentley takes the ride, that's a real positive, and Jassim Ghazali, the trainer.
So just 9 going to post then for this Thoroughbred plate. The one we didn't show you on the screen a few moments ago was Black Orange. He's a horse who would have a pretty significant chance here, you'd think, judged on that good run behind Poet's Dream last time, and might well be one of the key dangers to Beckton, who is probably the filly that's open to the most progression here. So it's Thoroughbred plates for 3-year-olds, colts and geldings with 58 kilos, fillies 56 kilos, 6 furlongs, 1,200 metres is the distance. They start the entrance proper to the back straight, and as they leave the paddock and head down to the start, we will hand you back up to Mark.
Thanks very much indeed, Nick. Yes, number 3, Black Orange, went to post early. He's been led to the starting point and indeed has very nearly reached the 1200-metre start for this 3-year-old thoroughbred plate. There are no changes here, no changes to the card. Now take a look at number 3, that is Black Orange. He is just arriving at the start now. He's trained by Debbie Mountain, ridden by Pier Antonio Convertino, winner of 2 of his 8 career starts so far. His 1 win here in Qatar came over this distance, but that was on the dirt in a thoroughbred handicap against his elders. His other win came in the UK over 1,000 metres at Ripon in a novice stakes. That was in April of last year when he was trained by Gate Kellaway. He was a runner at the big meeting here in December. He finished 6th behind Tip to Win in the ARABIAN stakes. We'll of course see Tip to Win running a little later on in the weekend. And he's one of the pace angles in this race. There's quite a number of horses here who like to get on with things over just 1,200 metres, but Black Orange could well be one of those who might want to actually help force the pace along. He'll be breaking from stall 4, not a bad draw for a horse who likes to go forward. One who's just a little bit edgy coming out onto the track, one of the forerunners here for Jazim Ghazali, the filly Beckton. She's bidding to break her maiden here. She's been placed on all 3 of her starts so far. Started off in the UK, trained by Robin Brisland, where she ran down the field at Kempton on the all-weather and on turf at Haydock. She's had the 1 run here in Qatar so far. That was last time out in a course and distance 3-year-old thoroughbred maiden when she finished behind 1 or 2 of today's runners. The winner of that race, a horse called Kinnock, is running in the Group 2 Albida Mile here tomorrow. So again, a bit of a galloping clue towards tomorrow's racing in this race. Indeed, quite a lot of the horses have got collateral form, with horses running in some of the more feature races on day 3 of this festival tomorrow. There is number 6, Random Decision. Theo Bachelot in the saddle for Hadi Al Ramzani, a son of Exceed and Excel. Like Beckton, he's only having a 4th career start today. He's a half to a horse called Continent, who won the Group 1 Dali July Cup during his career, so very much bred to be a very fast horse indeed. And now the runners have all arrived at the start, and the starting gate being pushed onto the racecourse proper. There's number 9. That's the Pantry, one of 2 fillies in this race. Thought she was worth a look at here. She's ridden by Harry Bentley, so jockey booking suggests she might well be the first string here of the 4 runners for Jazim Ghazali. She's a 3 times winner from 11 career starts. She started her career in France, including her final couple of runs where she won over 1100 at La Crosse-La Roche in Claimers. That's a very tight left-handed track. She's going tight right-handed here today. She also managed to win over 900 metres, just 4.5 furlongs at Lyon Parily. The interesting thing is that she ran 3rd on a Qatari debut in a 1200 metre Marmy Cup, but that was on dirt. She didn't really have a great deal of experience of that kind of surface except in the mornings, and being by Zebedee, she's going to very much be better suited getting back on the turf today. So she could well be a bit of a player here. Drawn 2, the Pantry, the mount of Harry Bentley, as we take a check on the runners. Black Orange, the highest rated horse coming into this race on the back of that very solid run in the ARABIAN Stakes here at the December meeting. And we had a couple of horses here yesterday who made all the running to win in one-turn races. So it's just possible that Pier Antonio Convertino might try and go forward. Well, he will go forward, that's pretty certain with Black Orange, but whether he decides to try and make every pole a winning one here, easy to spot in the vivid yellow silks. That's number 7, that is Chobron. Eddie Pedrosa rides, a dual winner here on the dirt here in Qatar. He's won 2 of his 7 career starts. He's interesting back on the turf today, however. He's 0 for 4 on turf, but he did manage to run a really big race at Musselburgh when he finished second over 1,000 metres. And he showed a bit of speed that day when he was trained by Richard Fahey. So, although better known now as a dirt horse here in this part of the world, Chobron could well be another interesting runner here, son of acclamation, bidding to win for the first time on the turf, with Eddie Pedrosa riding for Ibrahim Al-Malki. Salim Golem there in the white with the blue V and the black cap on the debutante here in Qatar, Lardan. Lardan, a maiden from 5 starts. All his previous runs were in France when he was trained by Francois Rojo, placed in a couple of races. He's got recency of form, however. There is Salim aboard Lardan. He's been running this winter at the staples of French racing down at Pau, where he's been running on the all-weather, and at Cannes-sur-Mer. He's been running over 1,500 and 1,300 metres. He hasn't been placed in any of his 3 turf starts so far, but he brings in a little bit of form very recently from France. Not well drawn here, however, for a horse who's shown nothing on the turf so far. Widest post, gate number 9. Now the first runners are beginning to move into line. They're loading for race 3, the 3-year-old thoroughbred plate, 1,200 metres, random decision, and Theo Bachelot first to move in. Theo heading up the Riders' Championship here in Qatar this year, 39 wins under. Next in will be Beckton, one of the 2 fillies, with Jean-Pierre Guillaumbert. The one who's just dived away to the outside of the track is Masked Defender, winner here over the extended 1,600 last time out on the dirt. First ride of the week for Sheen Murphy. Next to go forward will be Chobron, going into stall 5. Al Modajal goes in, followed in by the Pantry, and Black Orange will complete the line. They're in the gate. And they're off. To the outside, Beckton broke alertly, and Jean-Pierre Guillaumbert will send Beckton on into a clear lead. Black Orange will have to take the trail, with around the outside Chobron. On the inside is the Pantry, and then Masked Defender. Out wide is Random Decision, a break then of a length and a half back to Barag. Barak is racing in advance of Al Modajal, and the back marker as they go into the turn is Lardan. They've gone hard early. Becton is setting very, very solid fractions as they go towards halfway. Black Orange has got a beautiful position to pounce, racing in second. Chobron around the outside. The Pantry up against the inside rail is in fourth. The first four covered by only 2 lengths. A wide trip for Random Decision. On that one's inside, Mars Defender. Then Barag on the inside as they come down the lane. Less than 300 to go. Towards the inside, Becton is digging in. Black Orange has got every chance. Down the outside, Chobron, and then Mars Defender inside the final 100. Black Orange now just pokes a nose in front. Becton tries to kick back, but it's Black Orange who got the better of Becton in a driving line run, and then Mars Defender back in third. That's a photo finish between the 3 Black Orange. On the inside, the 8 Becton. Looked like Black Orange had just got his nose in front as they hit the wire, and that proves that by around about a head, with back in third Mars Defender, and it was the 7 Chobron who was finished back in 4th place. Black Orange, highest rated horse going into this race. He didn't get the lead today because Becton and Jean-Pierre Guillaumbert were very, very keen to play the hare, but Pier Antonio Convertino didn't panic, sat a perfect stalking trip and then pounced on the outside on the son of Pastoral Pursuits, and officially 3, 8 and 5 in a run time of 1:12.39.
It was a good finish to the Thoroughbred plate, but you fancy Black Orange just had a little bit up his sleeve there. Pier Antonio Convertino didn't have to give it the absolute maximum to get this colt by Pastoral Pursuits home, and it's another success here for Debbie Mountain in the colours of Hassan Al Abdullah Malik. That was a good 4th in a pretty good race behind Poet's Dream last time, form that got Frank last night. And Debbie will be represented in the Emirs Trophy tomorrow. Black Orange looks full of himself here at Al Rayyan this evening. And the drop down to 1,200 metres, no inconvenience, saw it out very well indeed. Excellent run in second from Becton. Might just be that she wants a little bit further. Good ride from JP Guillaumbert, trying to dominate from the outset, but as I said, you just thought that Black Orange was always going to cover that base. And an animated Pier Antonio Convertino there talking to Connections, and Gina is now with the winning trainer.
Yes. And here she is, Debbie Mountain, our winning trainer, and that was a good performance from this horse. He's stringing together some really nice efforts.
Yeah, he's coming together well. The trip suits him. We tried him up in 1400 in the Al Rayyan Stakes. Didn't quite get it, dropped him back to the 12. Plenty of speed and a nice horse for next year.
And what was the feedback from Pier Antonio?
When he hit the front, a little bit lazy, you know, just looking around. Still a baby, still very immature, still to come on a lot. But yeah, he's done it quite well in a tricky way, if you like.
And it's a good way to get into the meeting with a winner. You're represented tomorrow in the trophy by Kilindo. How is he?
Yeah, good. He had one run here before, didn't do very well, needed the run. Still acclimatising, to be honest with you. Hoping for a bigger run tomorrow, so fingers crossed. Tough race, though.
Well done here and good luck tomorrow.
Lovely, thank you very much.
Results now for race 3, the Thoroughbred plate for 3-year-olds. First, number 3, Black Orange. Second, number 8, Beckton. Third, number 5, Masked Defender. Fourth was number 7, Chobron. And the fifth horse was 6, Random Decision. 3, 8, 5 and 7 in a run time of 1:12.39 seconds. Race 3 is now official.
إذن الجهة جاهزة. أيها السيدات والسادة، انطلق الشوط الثالث للخيل المهجنة الأصيلة بعمر 3 سنوات، مسافة 1200 متر 9 من الجهات. تنطلق الآن الصدارة والمركز الأول، نبدأها مع بيكتون للسيد سلطان بن غانم الهديفي على المركز الأول مع جي بي جامبير. ثانيا عندنا بلاك أورنج للسيد حسن العبد الملك على المركز الثاني باندفاع قوي مع بيير كونفرتينو. ثالثا عندنا رقم 9 دبانتري خليفة بن شعيل الكواري. شابرون بالمركز الرابع لمربط رميلة. المركز الخامس ماسك ديفندر خليل منصور الشهواني. والمركز السادس راندم ديسيجن مع تيو باتشلو. الصدارة والمركز الأول لا تزال مع بيكتون لسلطان بن غانم الهديفي على الصدارة وعلى المركز الأول. التحركات مع شوف الحركة مع المركز الثاني رقم 3 بلاك أورنج، وأيضا التحرك مع رقم 7 شابروم الفاز في آخر مشاركة له. الخط المستقيم باتجاه خط النهاية. بلاك أورنج يتحرك وبيكتون لا تزال على الصدارة. المحاولات مع ماسك ديفندر الآن لخليل منصور الشهواني والصدارة مع بيكتون. بلاك أورنج الآن تغير على المركز الأول وعلى الصدارة. ماسك ديفندر في المركز الثاني وأيضا شابروم وأبو بيكتون، وفي محاولة قوية الجواد بلاك أورنج. بلاك أورنج بلاك أورنج فعلا أيها السيدات والسادة، بلاك أورنج.
So we come to the presentation for our third race, the Thoroughbred Plate, which was won by number 3 Black Orange, and we're delighted to welcome here to Doha this week the Duke of Richmond, who will be making the presentation, starting with our winning jockey Pier Antonio Convertino. And our congratulations also extended to the winning trainer, who is represented in the big $1 million Emirs trophy tomorrow, but she's got a winner on the board here, Deborah Mountain. And our congratulations also to the winning owner, representing his father, Hassan Ali Abdul Malik, Ali Al Abdul Malik. So a good performance from this colt Black Orange, who has been winning plenty here in Doha and continues to show plenty of promise for the future as well. So our congratulations to all of the winning connections of the winner of the Thoroughbred Plate 2018, Black Orange.
See you, huh? See you in Paddock.
انطلاقة جميلة وقوية، الفخامة في فخامة وصدارة، ويوسف محمد يوسف الهاجري محاولات للحاق من قبل سابقة ومحمد تويم علي المري، ولكن الصدارة مع يوسف الهاجري والفخامة بشكل فخم وقوي، وصدارة جميلة وقوية وتصدر إلى المرحلة القادمة. وانطلاقة الفريق التاسع الدروس في انطلاقة جميلة وقوية، وخفوقي في مرحلة من اللحاق، خفوقي وعبد الله راج محسن لدغم، ولكن الدروس ومحمد كمعان سعيد الخياري، الدروس وخفوقي بشكل جميل وقوي، ولكن الدروس بصدارة جميلة وقوية، الدروس وصدارة جميلة وقوية، وخفوقي إلى الدروس إلى المرحلة القادمة. بانتظار انطلاقة الفريق الثامن، بيان ومسنون، بيان وعبد الهادي حمد عبد الهادي المري، ومسنون وفالح ناصر صالح بوغنيم. بيان ومسنون، هنا الجواد مسنون إلى البوابة. انطلاقة جميلة وقوية للجواد بيان وعبد الهادي حمد. عبد الهادي المري محاولات للحاق من مسنون، ولكن بيان إلى المرحلة القادمة بشكل جميل وقوي. نعم بيان بصدارة جميلة وقوية. عبد الهادي حمد، عبد الهادي المري إلى المرحلة القادمة. وانطلق للفريق التاسع. جميلة وقوية الدروس من الجهة الداخلية بصدارة جميلة وقوية، ومحمد كمعة وسعيد الخياري الهاجري محاولات للحاق من قبل الجواد خوفوقي وعبد الله راشد محسن لتغم، ولكن الدروس بصدارة جميلة وقوية. الدروس ومحمد كمعة وسعيد الخيارين الهاجري إلى المرحلة القادمة. بانتظار الفريق العاشر برقة ومواش، برقة وخالد عبد العزيز أحمد الكواري، ومواش ناصر مسفر حمد الشهواني. انطلاقة جميلة وقوية. برقة بصدارة من الجهة الخارجية، ومحاولات لمواش من الجهة الداخلية. برقة ومواش، مواش وبرقة، برقة مواش بفارق الرأس، ومحاولات لبرقة والأمتار الأخيرة. برقة والمرحلة القادمة. برقة والفارس خالد عبد العزيز أحمد الكواري. وانطلاقة جميلة وقوية. خباب في صدارة، محاولات لظفيرة، والفارس علي سعيد مهند الدوسري. خباب ومعيوف هاشم معيوف الشمري، ولكن ظفيرة من الجهة الخارجية. خباب وظفيرة، ظفيرة وخباب، وصدارة جميلة وقوية مع الجواد. ظفيرة وعلي سعيد مهند الدوسري محاولات للحق. وانطلاقة الفريق الثاني عشر عميد بروك وديزرت برنس الهنا. عميد بروك بانطلاقة جميلة وقوية، ومشعل عبد اللطيف خالد لمهندي. محاولات لديزرت برنس الهنا عبد الله محمد خمر العنزي، ولكن عميد بروك بشكل جميل وقوي وصدارة قوية. محاولات للحاق من ديزرت برنس الهنا، ولكن عميد بروك يتأهل إلى المرحلة القادمة. صدارة جميلة وقوية للجواد علي بابا من الفريق الخامس، والفارس صالح سالم
علي المري يتأهل للمرحلة القادمة.
Well, moving on now to our fourth race this evening. Post time here is 10 past 5. 10 past 5 local time, so we've got about a quarter of an hour until this thoroughbred event for fillies and mares. And runners sorting themselves out into race card order in the paddock now. Jockeys are in and ready to mount. And this race will be run over 1,600 metres or 1 mile, and they start at the chute over to your left. Right, let's take a look at these then, and we will start with number 1, Al Murakaba, who was a ready winner of the Oaks here under Harry Bentley, beating Scudding by half a length just before the new year, and then ran in a really important race last time behind Zmanawal. Could argue a little disappointing off the back of that Oaks run, but back down to 1,600 metres today. It'll be interesting to see whether that brings about the requisite improvement in Al Murakaba.
And horse number 2, in contrast to horse number 1, is stepping up in distance. Botanica does have form at this sort of level and is quite a consistent performer, finishing 3rd last time in the hands of Marvin Suerland. Today, though, it's the informed JP Guillenbert who takes over in the saddle, looking to add to his tally of 2 winners at yesterday's meeting.
And was only just touched off in our previous race as well, so everything he's running at the moment seems to be running well. 3 is City Zen for Mohamed Riaz Ibrahim Kasim and Al-Motasem Al-Balushi. Disappointing run last time on the dirt, but that was in a good race on a surface that she's probably not ideally suited to. Prior to that, had been running respectably, but it's been a long time since her last victory. And for all that she has plenty of good form back in the book, you'd like to have seen a bit more of it this time round.
And just behind that one is horse number 4, Croara, who is trained by Stefano Ibido, ridden by Gerard Avranches on this occasion. It was Carlo Fiocchi who's been on board for the last couple of occasions, however, and that was when this filly was running over 2,000 metres. So hoping the drop down to 1,600 metres today could bring about some improvement.
Now, you saw Black Orange winning our previous race. Black Orange's colours will be carried once again by Pier Antonio Convertino aboard number 5, Juventus. But this time the trainer is Ahmed Kabesi. And this mare will have a much, much more difficult task on her hands than did Black Orange in the previous race.
And there is Pier Antonio Convertino waiting for the leg up on number 5, Juventus. The next horse we're going to see, who's just out on the track there, is horse number 6, Mango Tango, a filly who's really set the season alight here in Doha, winning 3 on the bounce over a slightly further trip of 2,000 metres. Finished 3rd last time, but has leading claims here of putting in another good performance, albeit over the shorter trip of 1,600 metres for Ibrahim Al-Malki and Eduardo Pedrosa.
And a lot of these are very, very closely matched on that run last time. Mentioned Al Murakaba. Gina's been telling you about Mango Tango. The next horse we're going to have a look at is Qatar Dance, who runs in the Al Naimi silks for Theo Bashlo and Hadi Al Ramzani. And this horse finished 2nd in the Pearl last time, behind Zman Awal, very closely matched with Mango Tango and Al Murakaba. And she's improving, it seems, still at the age of 6, though whether the drop down to 1,600 will ideally suit her is open to question. Here's 8 Rashida.
And Rashida will be ridden by the informed Thomas Lukacek, looking for a first win of the night after 2 at yesterday's meeting. Hadi Al Ramzani, the trainer, has won before here in Qatar, but it's been a while since, and comes into this off the back of slightly more disappointing efforts of late.
Next horse you can see is number 9, mare Ream Seattle. Maiden after 25 starts. Shouldn't be troubling the judge this evening.
Number 10, also a maiden as well, Ream Texas, a filly who'll be ridden by Abdullah Al-Mari for Hamad Al-Mari here. And Ream Texas just follows in behind Ream Seattle, who we can still see in shot there, horse number 10.
And behind number 10 in the paddock is number 12, Stars and Angels, the grey filly with the sheepskin cheek pieces there. Oisin Murphy's riding Stars and Angels and takes over in the saddle from Al-Motasem Al-Balushi. So one of Europe's best jockeys at the moment, taking the ride on Stars and Angels. Number 12, when you look at her on the screen. She was a good winner over 2,000 metres in December, but she's not been in the same form since, and I'm not sure the drop back to 1,600 is going to suit. There is Scudding with Martin Harley, Gina. Another good ride for him.
Yep, looking for a quick VAR double, Martin. And this is a horse whose form ties in, as we mentioned earlier, with Mango Tango and Murakabak, who was in front of this one last time. And based on that form, should certainly be in with leading claims here, with Martin Harley taking over in the saddle for Jassim Ghazali. Yeah,
he got her nicely under control now as well, Martin. She just slipped his feet out of the irons just to get her back underneath him, and he's just slipped him back in now as they head down to that 1,600 metre start. That is the filly I was talking about a few moments ago, Stars and Angels, with Oisin Murphy in the plate. Oisin, who will be riding Chemical Charge in the $1 million Emirs Trophy tomorrow. A horse with a massive chance and a first runner in Doha for a British-based trainer, Rafe Beckett. And Oisin limbering up here with Stars and Angels. There's 13, Tea Leaf.
Tea Leaf, who'll be ridden by Jean-Baptiste Hamel, has won before, but does need to show a much better level of form against this sort of opposition today. Number 13, Tea Leaf, heads out onto the track and is the penultimate runner of 14, Nick.
Yeah, 14 is the final runner here, World Fair, well-bred daughter of Shamadal. And it took her a long time to break her maiden, but she's been campaigned pretty sparingly in the last few years. She's very low mileage for her age, and she didn't really show enough on her comeback from a long, long absence to think that she was a proposition to be going close today. Ismail Kayunku takes the ride for Fahad Al-Hajri. So they head down to post, then over to our left. It's the 1,600 metre start here, so the chute, and they have 1 mile, 1,600 metres to go. Thoroughbred fillies and mares, Mark, they're a pretty useful bunch, as we see Martin Harley getting on Scudding again. But a lot of them, a lot of the key players here, Murakaba, Mango Tango, Qatar Dance and Scudding, are all very, very closely matched, and it's a question of which one, I guess, gets the best trip.
It's a very competitive race, this Thoroughbred fillies and mares race, and as you say, it could well be a bit of a trip race as well. Bigger field than we've often had for this race. Last 2 years it's been won by the very, very useful Bronze Marquette, If you go back to 2015, then number 2, Botanica, was the winner, one of her 6 race wins here in Qatar. She's actually won 7 races in total during her career. She was actually second behind Bronze Marquette in this race 12 months ago. And she's got quite a good draw too, coming out of stall number 5. She's ridden by the informed Jean-Pierre Guillaumbert, and therefore Botanica, you could expect a very, very big run. She's a real standing dish in this race. She's actually running in this corresponding race for the 4th time. Won it in 2015, had a bad run in 2016. She was only 7th and then runner-up last year. Her last win came in a similar race to this over course and distance back in May. And this is her first time back to the 1600s in 5 starts so far this year, or this season, here in Qatar. So Botanica very much one of the major players in this race. Runners now begin to arrive at the start. Just a quick reminder that we do have a couple of rider changes. We announced them right at the start of the programme today, but just to remind you that there are changes on the 2 half-brothers, both them out of the Dam Stevie's fleet. Number 9, Ream Seattle, is now ridden by Mark Lerner. Mark Lerner is now on the 9. There's also a slight colour change. It's a black cap. And number 10, Ream Texas, is now ridden by Anas Al-Siyabi. Anas Al-Siyabi aboard number 10, Ream Texas. And while we're on the subject of colour changes, we also have a colour change on the 3, City Zen, who was runner-up in this race to Botanica back in 2015. City Zen is now running in House Silks. The House Silks here in Qatar are white with the gold qrec logo, and it's a green cap, so as in the card for City Zen, now in predominantly white with a green cap. City Zen a 6 times career winner, 5 of those victories coming here in Qatar. Well, the runners now have arrived down at the starting point. Won't be too long before they begin to load. A couple of very popular fillies in this race. We'll try and pick out 1 or 2 of them for you down at the start. And try and take a look at number 1, Al Murakaba, who's been jig-jogging down at the start, very much on her toes, looks very much up for this particular assignment. Nick's already mentioned the fact that her main claim to fame in 3 wins here in Qatar was a victory in the Group 3 Qatar Oaks here at the December Derby Festival. Harry Bentley is aboard, drawn 4, so next door to another major player here, Botanica. There's only a couple of kilos between them, a couple of pounds between them in the ratings, so there shouldn't be too much between them at the end of this race. Number 1, Al Murakaba, a major player here for Harry Bentley and Jazim Ghazali. Another very, very popular distaffer here in Qatar is number 6, Mango Tango, trained by Ibrahim Al-Malki, ridden by Di Pedrosa. And again, another one drawn in that centre cluster in the gate. Stall 6, winner of 5 races, 4 here in Qatar, including a really impressive victory in the 2016 running of the Qatar Oaks. So we have the last 2 winners of the Qatar Oaks in this race. Al Murakaba, the winner just a couple of months ago, and Mango Tango, who won the race some 14 months ago. Another very, very popular horse here, and she's the highest rated horse coming into this race by some way. So Mango Tango certainly sets the benchmark, 5 for 16 during her career. She's running at this meeting for the 2nd time. She's actually taking a slight grade drop because 12 months ago she ran in the Group 1 His Highness the Emirs Trophy, the major thoroughbred race of this particular festival, and she was far from disgraced that day. She finished 7th on that particular occasion. So the centre of the gate here, or just slightly inside of centre, is very interesting. Al Murakaba comes out of 4. Botanica, the winner 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, comes out of 5. Mango Tango out of 6. So all those 3, possibly the 3 most significant players, are drawn next to one another here. Throw in the likes of the triple winner in France, Qatar Dance. And she's coming out of 9, so she's not very far away from that cluster of well-fancied runners as they begin the load now for this very classy Fillies and Mares Thoroughbred 1600. This is Rashida running in this race yet again, another standing dish, third in 2015, fifth last year, Thomas Lukasek, going into stall number 3 on Rashida. The horse in the house silks has already gone into stall number 8, City Zen, now in the white with the green cap with Amotsem Al Balushi. Still waiting on Botanica to go forward into gate 5, stall 14 for Crowara. And they'll be the last 2 to load. Last couple moving in. Phyllis Emirs in the gate. And they're off. A very alert beginning by Botanica. Jean-Pierre Guillaume-Père really has put the pedal to the metal and pushes on the grey Botanica towards the outside. Scudding tries to go with her. World Affair is a little bit wide, so too is Juventus as they go towards the turn. So it's Scudding out a little bit wide. Botanica right up against the inside rail. These are the first 2. World Fair is racing in 3rd. Juventus towards the outside of Tea Leaf. Then on the inside is Stars and Angels, the second of the greys. Mango Tango takes the trail just on the heels of that leading group. Al Murakabar is already being pushed along by Harry Bentley. Ream Seattle on that one's outside, and Ream Texas is wider still. And then towards the inside is Rashida racing in advance of Qatar Dance. Last but one is City Dance, and Crowara is the back marker. They begin to make the turn on towards the final 600, and Scudding and Martin Harley lay it down to Botanica and Jean-Pierre Guillaume-Père. Stars and Angels racing in 3rd position as they make the turn back towards home. Tea Leaf is racing in 4th. Then towards the outside, Mango Tango, who's coming under an all-out drive now from Eddie Pedrosa as they turn for home. And as they do so, it is Botanica out in front. Mango Tango begins to fly down the outside. Stars and Angels has a chance. Qatar Dance is staying on. They're inside the final 150. Botanica begins to paddle. Mango Tango comes over the top. Mango Tango wins again. Botanica in 2nd, Stars and Angels, followed by Qatar Dance, and then Al Murakabar, who was always out of her comfort zone, just on their heels in 5th. So the very popular filly by Siuni, Mango Tango, has won for the 6th time in her career, and her 5th win here in Qatar, and the winner of the 2016 Qatar Oaks Group 3 has won again for Eddie Pedrosa and for Ibrahim Al-Malki. She was off the bit quite a long way out, had to really be stoked up, but Eddie Pedrosa came wide, swooped to get the better of Botanica, giving a very, very positive forward ride by Jean-Pierre Guillaume-Père, maybe slightly softened up by Scudding in the early stages. Stars and Angels under a Sheen Murphy back in 3rd place. Here's the ISO cam as Mango Tango comes down the outside to win once again, unofficially, 6, 2 and 12. 6, 2, 12 unofficial in 137.31.
That's an 18th success of the domestic campaign for Eddie Pedrosa, fine rider. He only has Harry Bentley, Theo Bachelot and Stefan Lajaj in front of him in the jockeys table. And another win for Ibrahim Al-Malki there, his 27th of the campaign, behind only Alban de Meulen and Jassim Khazali. And this filly, as Mark said, is gaining a firm following here in Qatar because she just keeps on winning these very competitive and well-contested races. Last time, things didn't quite go for her, but dropped back in distance to 1600. That was the big question mark today, and she coped with it really well. And she was definitely assisted by the fact that Jean-Pierre Guillaume-Père was keen to go out and make this a reasonable test at the distance, and Botanica's run really well in 2nd place under a positive ride. But Eddie Pedrosa's had to keep at Mango Tango. She's responded really well. She's a multiple stakes winner when trained by Pascal Barry in France, and more success for her this evening. And who knows, she's only 5 years old. It might well be that she's thought capable of taking on a better competition yet in years to come. A very assured performance from Mango Tango. And happy scenes here in the winners' enclosure. Vast experience of Eddie Pedrosa seen to good effect here. Yet another win for him here in Doha. And Ibrahim Al-Malki's team remain in good form. And the jockey dismounts, the photographs are taken. And we can grab a word with one or two of the connections here. Let's head over and have a chat with Ibrahim. Ibrahim? Congratulations, well done.
Thank you very much.
This filly's a real star for you. She's improving hand over fist.
She's a star filly actually. Last season we didn't have so much luck. She won the Oaks last year, but then after that she went backward a little bit. We give her a long rest actually, and then we bring her back this year, and she won 4 times now, almost all.
She's done a lot of winning at 2,000 meters, but back to 1,600 today. But they went a good gallop, and she didn't seem to mind.
No, she stayed as we run her always 2,000 meter, and today we decided to put her with the fillies race actually, and but the only chance we have to go with the fillies is 1,600, so we know she stays, so we don't be a hurry with her from beginning. So she ran a good race as you see, and well done for the owner.
You're going to keep going with her next season?
Well, we have to decide this with the owner because he's knocked the door. He wanted to go for breeding, so we chat about it later.
Well, she's a valuable proposition. If today was her swan song, it's been a glorious one. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Here's the result now of the Fillies and Mares Thoroughbreds 1,600 metre. The win for number 6, Mango Tango. Second was number 2, Botanica. Third, number 12, Stars and Angels. Fourth, number 7, Qatar Dance. The fifth horse was number 1, Al Marakaba. 6, 2, 12 and 7. The run time was 1:37.31 seconds. Race 4 is now official.
ينطلق الآن أيها السيدات والسادة الشوط الرابع، شوط الخيل المهجنة الأصيلة الإناث الدرجة الثالثة بمسافة الميل، مسافة 1600 متر بانطلاقة 14 من الجياد المهجنة الأصيلة الإناث. الصدارة والمركز الأول مع شعار السيد خليفة بن شعيل الكواري والجواد سكودينج لخليفة بن شعيل الكواري على المركز الأول. المركز الثاني يشاد بوتانيكا مع جيبي جامبير محمد بن أحمد العطية على المركز الثاني حاليا. المركز الثالث أشاهد تليف السادة مربط الغزالي. ستارز اند انجلز في المركز الرابع منصور إبراهيم المحمود. إنما المركز الخامس مع وولد بير فهد راشد الهاجري من الجهة الخارجية. شعار السيد حسن العبد الملك مع جوفنتوس في المركز الخامس تقريبا. المركز السادس المرشحة الأولى رقم 6 عبد اللطيف حسين العمادي مع مانجو تانجو في اندفاع قوي وفي وضع رائع فعلا. المراقبة لخليفة بن شعيل الكواري هاري بنتلي في اندفاع على المركز السادس تقريبا في محاولة اللحاق بالجهد. الشوط فعلا طالع سريع في هذه الأمسية. شوف التقدم الآن مع سكودينج مارتن هارلي في المركز الأول الآن وفي الصدارة. المركز الثاني يشاهد بوتانيكا في محاولة قوية. بوتانيكا مع محمد بن أحمد العطية على تحركات قوية. بوتانيكا في الصدارة وفي المركز الأول الآن بوتانيكا الخط المستقيم باتجاه خط النهاية. شوف المرشحة الأولى مانجو تانجو قادمة الآن من الجهة الخارجية. ساردن أنجز على المركز الثاني ولكن الصدارة والمركز الأول مع بوتانيكا. لكن مانجو تانجو المرشحة الأولى قادمة الآن. بوتانيكا على المركز الأول. مانجو تانجو على الصدارة الآن من الجهة الخارجية. مانجو تانجو تخطف الصدارة في الأمتار الأخيرة أيها السيدات والسادة.
Presentation for race 4, the Thoroughbreds, Fillies and Mares, Class 3. And delighted to welcome to the presentation podium, accompanied by Abdullah Khobesi, Alistair Donald from the International Racing Bureau. And many congratulations to the winning rider on Mango Tango, Eddie Pedrosa, an 18th success in Doha this domestic season. And the man who trains this hugely popular filly, a multiple stakes winner, Ibrahim Al-Malki. And please welcome to the presentation podium the winning owner, Abdul Latif Al-Emadi. Congratulations, Mr. Al-Emadi. Big decision now whether to carry on racing this filly or whether to send her to the breeding shed. But either way, she's been a fantastic filly here in Qatar and before that in France. And all the connections of Mango Tango now receive their framed prints from Alistair Donald, Director of the International Racing Bureau, who are responsible for logistics for all the international runners here in Doha. And many congratulations once again to all concerned with our winner of race 4 this evening, Mango Tango.
Amazing. Sorry,
So we move on to our
that.
next race here. Race 5, continuing apace, and you can just see as the dusk falls here at Al Rayyan, the runners are filing, single file, into the parade ring, and you can see them on the big screen as well. It's just a few suspicions of spits of rain, but nothing that's going to make any meaningful difference to conditions as we speak, and just the breeze has picked up a shade to greet the runners for race 5. The jockeys are out in good time. Gina, what have we got here?
Yeah, race 5, Nick, is a local thoroughbred trophy, 1,400 metres the trip for this, for 4-year-olds and up. And we're going to start with horse number 3, who's the first into the paddock on this occasion. It's a horse called Bata for Hadi Al Ramzani. Thomas Lukacek looking for another winner of the meeting. He's the man on board. A horse whose form has been a little bit inconsistent, but 2 starts ago he did run second over this same 1,400 metre trip, and it just depends what side of the bed he's woken up on today.
There's number 5, Museta for Jassim Khazali and Khalifa Al-Kawari. Harry Bentley takes the ride for this powerful team. And 2 starts ago, beat Marjan by a couple of lengths. Returning to that sort of form at 1,400 would make him a pretty difficult horse to beat. And they do look the 2 to concentrate on, 3 and 5, or 4 and 5, Marjan and Museta.
So the remaining runners filing into the paddock now, and we'll get them in race card order very shortly, no doubt, but the connections as well. There's Debbie Mountain on the screen, who won our second to last race and comes here with a chance on Emirs Trophy Day as well. So our next horse we're going to look at is horse number 8, Cood for Mohamed El Hamed, Pier Antonio Convertino, the man on board. And horse number 8 had run on dirt last time, was only beaten just under 2 lengths on that occasion, but switches back onto the turf here today and back up to a slightly longer trip as well from 1,200 metres last time.
And you just saw Theo Bachelot there being briefed by Abdullah Al-Jabir. This is number 9, Murakaba, Jean-Pierre Guillaumbert, riding another one for Jassim Khazali and Khalifa Al-Kawari, in whose silks he won yesterday. An interesting mare. She's been running respectably, just coming back to a little bit of form as well. Wouldn't entirely rule out a big run.
And there is horse number 10 on the screen now, Tanja Boutaila for Gerald Davranche and Stefano Ibido. A horse who's had a couple of runs now back from a break, so should be fit and spot on now. It was a step in the right direction last time over the shorter trip last time, and does step into pretty warm waters here though, and will need to be at her very best to figure.
And there is the eye-catching chestnut Zuzi, another one for Debbie Mountain and Hassan Al Abdul Malik, who's already had a winner this evening. Kalafiocchi takes the ride. Well beaten on the dirt last time. Might appreciate a return to turf, but needs to find a little more than she's been finding of late. And the one that we didn't see was number 4, Marjan, or the significant one we didn't see was number 4, Marjan, who with Museta looks the one to be interested in here. Olivier Pellier takes the ride on this horse, who beat Museta last time and did so, I beg your pardon, who was beaten by Museta last time, but could easily reverse the form with Pellier in the plate from stall 3.
And there is Debbie Mountain just giving her instructions to Carlo Fiocchi, who's riding for her on this occasion. There's horse number 1, who we missed initially coming into the paddock, Al Lusail for Hadi Al Ramzani. Fala Bugenhain takes the mount, and this is a horse who is lesser exposed potentially than some of these, run 4 times here and has won twice, including over the slightly shorter trip here last time out, but a horse certainly in form coming into today's contest.
So they've got 1,400 metres, 7 furlongs to run here. They start at the entrance to the back straight. There's a long, long run to the bend. Heading down to post there is Asia, number 2, being walked to post. And when Asia gets to post, he'll be united with Vaclav Janacek, who's
having another spin on this horse, having ridden him last time, when well behind one or two of these. Well back in distance today. Really experimenting with the trip for Asir. And there is Marjan, who I was talking about a little bit earlier on. It'll be interesting to see whether he or Maseta come out best in the private battle. Both quite well drawn, both well ridden, both in good form, both representing powerful connections. And as the runners head down to posts, we can join Mark.
Thanks, Nick. So a couple of the runners have gone to the start early. Number 7, Dean, and also number 2, Asir. As we take a look at the last one to lead the paddock, which is the mare Zuzi with Carlo Fiocchi. Finished third in this race 12 months ago. Indeed, we have the first 3 home in this race last year, all reopposing, and they are the last 3 on the card, because Marakaba was the winner of this race last year, Tangible Taylor finished in second, and Zuzi was third. That was one other just leaving the paddock a little behind the others. That's number 5, Moseta, with Harry Bentley in the saddle. This is actually the 3rd time that this race has been run at this particular meeting, won by Marakaba 12 months ago for Jazim Ghazali, and was ridden on that occasion by Harry Bentley. Harry not aboard Marakaba today, but Jean-Pierre Guilbert is. The previous running of this race in 2016 went to Yasmin, saddled by Alban de Meer, who has Marjan in this race. Marjan, a 3 times course winner, and currently in shot there in the Umkan maroon and white spots, sported by Olivier Pellier, who was quite brilliant with a front-running ride here in race 2 yesterday afternoon. That's number 1, that's Al Lusail, twice a course winner, including last time out over 1,200 metres, unexposed, just the 4 runs so far. The blinkers went on to win last time out, and the blinkers have been retained here, so if Al Lusail wins, he'll be a perfect 2 out of 2 with the headgear on, ridden by Fala Buchenheim, who rode our very first winner of this 3-day festival yesterday afternoon. Al Lusail, certainly one of the lesser exposed horses in this particular race. So runners just coming back towards the starting point. That is Koud, who's followed by Moseta. And after Moseta, with the white cheek pieces, will be Marakaba, the winner of this race 12 months ago. Marakaba has won a third of her races. She's won 6 of her 18. Her only win on turf was this race 12 months ago. All her other 5 victories have come on the dirt. She's coming here off a 4th in a local conditions race over 1,200 when she finished behind Koud. Koud finished 2nd on that particular occasion. Jean-Pierre Guilbert, who's already had a couple of winners this festival and a couple of very good placed runs as well this afternoon, is in the plate. There is Waid alongside Marjan, arriving down at the starting point.
Of course, they have to. I told them to fuck off. I don't even tender them, they write to me. Because we've got, in most of the vaccines are monopoly.
They're at the post. There's Olivier Pellier aboard Marjan, 3 times course winner here. All 3 career victories have come at ARABIAN from 13 career starts, wins at 1,200 and 1,600 on 2 occasions, one on his seasonal reappearance over 1,200 and has finished 2nd in his last couple of starts. He's running at this meeting for the 2nd time. He ran in the Al Rayyan Breeders' Cup race here 12 months ago. Struggled a little bit in that deep race. This arguably just a little lighter, and being rated 104, he brings in the highest rating to this race, a pound ahead of the 5-horse Moseta will be breaking from post position 3 as they begin to load the gate. Al Lusail is the first one to move into line. Loading now for race 5.
Sorry guys, I'd love to load odds and evens.
1400 metres, so the start for this race at the beginning of the back straight, just on that little chute. Just a few metres they race before they link up with the main track. Koud, one of the 5 fillies, goes forward, followed in by Waid. Olivier Pellier and Marjan going in next. Marjan due into stall 3, bidding to give trainer Alban de Meulen a second win of the day. This is Dean, goes in minus Theo Bachelot. Next up, Moseta. 3 back. Asir goes in. Still waiting on Tangibu Taylor, last year's runner-up, to go into gate 6. And to stall 11, Zuzi, last year's 3rd. They will be the last 2. Zuzi goes forward now to complete the line. They're in the gate, and they're off. Looked a very even break. Towards the inside, Koud came away alertly and will claim the early lead. Moseta will give chase, and Koud just jinks away there from the running rail and just slightly ran across 1 or 2 horses, but it's still Koud who has got the lead. Waid on the outside now, racing in a very close second. To the inside, Moseta is in 3rd. Out wide is Al Lusail in 4th position. Maracaba, last year's winner, is in 5th. Marjan on the inside, racing in 6th position as they go towards the end of the back stretch. Asir is out wide in 7th, followed by Tangibu Taylor with 2 behind. Batter is last but 1, and Dean is last of all as the 11 make the turn with just over 600 to go. It is Koud who is out in front to Waid, racing in 2nd position. Around the outside, Al Lusail is in 3rd, but 3 deep. Towards the inside, Moseta, followed by Maracaba, then Zuzi trying to pick up. Asir is very, very wide. Then Marjan, who was shuffled back, followed by Dean. Last but 1 now is Tangibu Taylor as they race on down towards the final 200. Batter is at the back of the field. They race down towards the final 200 with Al Lusail striking and going for home. Moseta digging in towards the inside rail. It is Al Lusail and Moseta. Here is the wire, tight. Moseta to the far side may have got the head down, but it was very close. Moseta against the rail, and down the centre of the course, that was Al Lusail. It's between those 2 for this local thoroughbred trophy. Photo finish, it's a photo finish for the win. Photo finish between, in race card order, the 1 Al Lusail and the 5 Moseta. On that evidence, it looks as though, as I thought, as they hit the wire, number 5 Moseta may well have just got his head down, and if he has, it will be a first win of this festival for champion jockey Harry Bentley and a 4th course win for Moseta.
So confirmation, as Mark suspected, that Moseta got up on the inside rail under Harry Bentley. A fine ride as well for Jassim Khazali and Khalifa Al-Kaweri. Top team here in Qatar, winning this race. It was a thrilling race. We billed it as a match between these 2 old adversaries. But in fact, a terrific run from Al Lusail. But Moseta it was that obliged, snaking up that inside fence just to get that dark nose down on the line. And actually, whilst it appeared on initial evidence this horse had won by a reasonable margin, a short header ahead. In the end, the freeze frame told us it was very, very close indeed. But confirmed the winner. And Maseta it is that obliges here. And repeating the success of 2 starts ago.
And he just jinked coming back in there after his win. Harry Bentley did well to sit tight and remain with the partnership intact, but it was a good win in the end, showing plenty of guts in the finish.
Yes, Maseta confirmed the winner. Jassim Ghazali, the winning trainer, has just said to me, are you sure we've won? I can tell you, you've definitely won, Jassim. I'll have a word with you in a moment, but first of all, here's Gina with the winning jockey.
Yeah, it's a lot tighter in the photo than it looked initially, Harry, but were you confident you'd got the vote?
No, to be honest, you know, I'd have been a very unlucky loser if I had lost, because travelling very well into the straight and I just had nowhere to go, but little gap came up the inside and I just had to take my chance, but he was always guessing there. Thankfully the line came at the right time.
This horse has been doing really well for the team.
Has been. Last time ran over 2,400, it was just too far, so you know, back to 7 furlongs was the right thing.
Great to get a winner on the board, Harry. We've got a busy couple of days now with looking ahead to tomorrow. Looking forward to it with some nice rides?
Yeah, got some really nice rides. Obviously, it's been a bit of a disappointing start for me, but that's the way things go. But we've got some nice rides to look forward to. Eastern of Farrell's probably my standout ride tomorrow, along with obviously the Blue Eye. So yeah, we'll see what we can do.
The old favourite back. Well, good luck tomorrow and best of luck for the rest of tonight.
Thank you. Cheers.
And the man to ask how the Blue Eye is ahead of tomorrow's bid to win another Emirs trophy is Jassim Ghazali. Tell us first of all about this horse, Maseta, Jassim.
Alhamdulillah, take win today because from yesterday to now, all time come second. Today have a good winner for the Maseta, and I know the race not easy race today, the tough race for every horses. When he's run every race, I think is a tough race to win any horses. I'm happy today to open my online to open one race the winner. I hope it allows take another winner.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Blue Eye. He's been a real favourite here in Doha for a number of years now. How confident are you that he's in top shape ahead of tomorrow's race?
I think tomorrow is a very tough race. As you know, has some horses, maybe 4 or 5 horses come from outside, not easy horses, and the qualities. I think the better to the Blue Eye, if you see the rating or they see the condition, what is right there. The Group horses, Group 1 runner, Group 2 winner. The Blue Eye, I think he's ready for the race. I don't have anything to say not okay, he's okay, but I don't know the race tomorrow, how's that, but good. I run the race for the win. I not run to come place, but I don't know how's the another horses run tomorrow in the Ryan track, but believe me, I think a very, very tough race. And first season is come the quality horses from outside, from Qatar.
Normal service resumed. You're back in business. Well done, Jassim.
Thank you. Thank you.
Result now of race number 5. It was a win for horse 5, Maseta. Second, number 1, Al Lusail. Third, number 9, Marakaba. Fourth, number 2, Asiya. And the 5th horse was number 4, Marjan. 5, 1, 9 and 2 in 1:26.41 seconds. Race 5, now official.
ينطلق الآن أيها السيدات والسادة الشوط الخامس. جائزة الخيل المهجنة الأصيلة الإنتاج محلي في مسافة 1400 متر. ينطلق 11 من الجياد يتنافسون على جائزة وقدرها $30,000 أمريكي. ينطلق على المركز الأول وعلى الصدارة خود لمنصور خليل المنصوري على المركز الأول مع بيير كومبرتينو. المركز الثاني وعد للسيد راشد بن مبارك النعيمي. ثالثا عندنا هاري بنتلي مع مسيطر للسيد خليفة بن شعيل الكواري. المركز الرابع الوسيل لمحمد بن حمد بن خليفة العطية مع فالح بغنيم. المركز الخامس أشاهد أيضا شعار السيد خليفة بن شعيل الكواري مع مراقبة لخليفة بن شعيل الكواري مع جيبي جمبير زوزي في المركز السادس. سابعا عندنا عسير مع عبد العزيز صالح الجابر. والمركز الثامن أشاهد مرجان. عودة للمركز الأول وعودة للصدارة. الصدارة لا تزال مع خود لمنصور خليل المنصوري على الصدارة مع بيير كومبرتينو. المحاولات أشاهدها الآن مع وعد في المركز الثاني مع جون باتيستي هامل. الوسيل في المركز الثالث في تقدم قوي ورائع فعلا. مراقبة في المركز الرابع. وايضا لدينا من الجهه الداخليه مسيطر لخليفه بن شعيل الكواري. الخط المستقيم الان باتجاه خط النهايه. التحركات مع الوسيل على الصداره وعلى المركز الاول. القادم شعار السيد الجابر مع عسير وايضا مسيطر. ولكن الوسيل يغير على الصداره وعلى المركز الاول. مسيطر من الجهه الداخليه. مسيطر والوسيل. المنافسه تشتد. الوسيل ومسيطر. الوسيل ومسيطر. دخول جماعي. الوسيل ومسيطر. ايها السيدات والساده فوتو فينيش.
والمرحلة الثالثة من بطولة السابق، والفريق الأول البتيل ومنجم. منجم والشيخ عبد الله بن مشعل بن محمد الثاني وبتيل وعبد العزيز جابر علي ضرمان. انطلاقة جميلة وقوية لمنجم في صدارة. محاولات للحق من بتيل من الجهة الخلفية وعبد العزيز جابر علي ضرمان. ولكن منجم بشكل جميل وقوي. منجم في صدارة والشيخ عبد الله بن مشعل بن حمد آل ثاني. نعم منجم. ومحاولات للبتيل والأمتار الأخيرة. ولكن منجم إلى المرحلة القادمة. انتظار انطلاقة الفريق الثاني. العريق والعيار. العيار وسالم محمد عبد الله الفهيد المري. والعريق وعبد الله مبارك عبد الله المعاضيد. محاولات مع الجواد العريق إلى البوابة وتنجح المحاولة. والفارس عبد الله مبارك عبد الله المعاضيد. انطلاقة جميلة وقوية. العيار من الجهة الداخلية والفارس سالم محمد لفهيد المري والعريق وعبد الله مبارك عبد الله المعاضيد. العريق والعيار. العيار من الجهة الداخلية وسالم محمد لفهيد والعريق وعبد الله مبارك المعاضيد. العيار بشكل جميل وقوي. العيار في صدارة. سالم محمد لعبد الله لفهيد المري إلى المرحلة القادمة.
And we come to the presentation for race 5, and what a thrilling finish it was to the local Thoroughbred trophy. And to do the honours on the trophy podium, we have Abdullah Al-Kobaisi, and our congratulations to the connections of the winner, Moseita. A brilliant ride from this man, the winning jockey, Harry Bentley. Not much in the winning margin at all, and I'm sure a few nervous moments for the winning trainer, Jassim Ghasali. And we also, of course, extend our congratulations to the winning owner, Mr. Khalifa bin Shiel Al Kawari. Khalifa, who will be represented with plenty of runners over the next couple of days, and most notably with a former winner of the $1 million His Highness Emirs trophy, the Blue Eye, and he'll be back to try and reclaim his crown tomorrow. But for now, it's a winner of this local thoroughbred trophy with number 5, Moseita.
وانتظارا لانطلاقة الفريق الثالث علي بابا والفخامة، علي بابا وصالح سالم، علي المري، والفخامة يوسف محمد يوسف الهاجري. هنا علي بابا إلى البوابة، والفخامة والفارس يوسف محمد يوسف الهاجري. انطلاقة جميلة وقوية للجوال، انطلاقة من الجهة الخلفية، ولكن علي بابا وصالح سالم، علي المري، الفخامة وعلي بابا، علي بابا والفخامة، الفخامة بكل فخامة، ويوسف محمد يوسف الهجري إلى المرحلة القادمة. انتظار انطلاقة الفريق الرابع، زربيلا وبيان، زربيلا ونواف راشد محمد المسلم، وبيان وعبد الهادي حمد عبد الهادي المري. انطلاقة جميلة وقوية، زربيلا من الجهة بانطلاق الفريق، وبرقة برقة بشكل جميل وقوي من الجهة الداخلية، والدروس من الجهة الخارجية، الدروس ومحمد كمعان سعيد الخيارين الهاجري، ومحاولات لبرقة من الجهة الداخلية، وخالد عبد العزيز أحمد الكواري، ولكن الدروس بشكل جميل وقوي، ومحاولات لبرقة والأمتار الأخيرة، ولكن فوتو فينش صراحة الدروس وبرقة. النتيجة عند الحكام. فوز ومحمد كمعان السعيد وعميد وناصر مسفر حمد الشهواني
this evening. Number 2, of course, we can take a look at in the blue headgear there. In K Delau, important race back in January, the beginning of January, won by a significant margin as well. That was over 1100, so you can tell the horse is.
And
of the two in the headgear, Theo Bachelot, which takes the ride today. Stall 11's not ideal, over 1200 meters here, and he's kicking on a bit now. He's the old man of the party at the age of 9.
So the next horse in question is horse number 5, rode in with the eye-catching headgear there. Carlo Fiocchi takes the ride for Osama Al Dafea. And again, a horse who's had his last couple of starts on dirt. He's back on the turf here, and he does step into quite hot company here this evening, so will need to put his best foot forward.
Next horse we can take a look at is Sam Bourne, who was in good form last year and had some notable Antonio Converting outside play.
Is Intifada for Thomas Lukacek, who's also seeking a third win at this festival. Hadi Al Ramzani is in good form as well, was a winner back in January, and albeit
opposite the winner's circle here, 119.15, 119.15. Harry Bentley had to wait a little while before he won, but he's won again. Harry, congratulations. You don't get him too much easier than that.
No, nice win that easy, but you know, he's a very impressive horse. Just, you know, in a race, and to look at, he's a real stamp of an Arabian.
Yeah, you look at him in the paddock compared to the others, you find it hard to believe he's cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, almost.
Harry Bentley, the ride in Arabian sprinter here in performance, and in time for just.
Yeah, look, probably some of his best runs ever were, he was twice, so they were probably better than the.
Tom Hogan, the trainer of Gordon Lord Byron, who's one of the star attractions. Here from Oman. And Al-Mutasem Al-Balushi saluting the crowd. Hugs all round in the winner's circle. And you can just see what a win at this event means to all concerned. The owner Saad Sahel Salim Al-Mukaini Bawan and trainer Badar bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al-Hajri. And into the winner's circle now comes Meblish, winner of the Gulf Cup. And I think Gina's going to intrepidly dive in there and have a word with one or two of the connections. But an awful lot of people involved with this horse and want to get a piece of the action. And who can blame them? I think it's going to be difficult to know where to start. And applause still ringing round for Meblish. And jockey Al-Mutasem Al-Balushi dismounts. The grey son of Amir. And we're going to get in the thick of the action now.
Good luck, Hassan. Good luck.
Well, Gina, it's over to you.
It's okay to do.
No, I can't speak English.
No English?
Only Arab.
Who's the best person?
So just trying to locate the representatives here amongst a big crowd, and I think we're nearly there.
Well, Nick, I'm joined.
Here we are. Let's join Gina.
Joined now by one of the many winning connections here. Scenes of jubilation, a fantastic success. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And it was a good race, and we hope to participate again next year, inshallah.
Were you expecting to win today?
I wasn't expecting the first, but the first 4. But thanks to God, and we worked hard, and it was a good race.
This is a lovely horse.
Yeah, it is. It is. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Very much. Thank you.
Result now of the Gulf Cup, a win for horse number 6, Meblish. Second was number 11, Sharisa. Third was number 10. Apologies. Second was number 11, Zawa. third number 10 Sharisa, fourth number 8 Rassan, and fifth was number 9 Majnona. Let's confirm those numbers for you. First 6 Meblish, second 11 Zawa, third number 10 Sharisa, fourth number 8 Rassan, and the fifth horse was number 9 Majnona in 1:46.72 seconds. 6, 11, 10 and 8 now official.
So our final race this evening is race number 8. It's the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup. It's been a fixture on this card now for several years. Irish Thoroughbred Marketing have our very grateful thanks for all their support of the Emirs sword. And you'll have heard me speak to Tom Hogan, the trainer of Gordon Lord Byron, a little while ago. I said it would be very appropriate if he were to win, given the fact that he has been something of a poster boy for Irish racing across not only several countries, but several continents. Here he is in Qatar. And I'm very pleased to say that chatting to me now is the Irish ambassador to Qatar, Paul Kavanagh. Ambassador, lovely to see you at Al Rayyan, and a great evening for it as well.
Thank you very much, Nick. It's a real thrill to be here for the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup evening. A fantastic event, and I've met so many friends of Irish racing here and of world racing.
And you must have seen in your position this event grow and become a really significant event on the global stage.
It's very impressive, and the last race, of course, is a very good example. We've seen winners from Oman who came in and were shipped in just in the recent days. But I met Mubarak Al-Naimi here. J'ai rencontré Louis Romanet, the president of the International Federation. And of course, I met Adrian Beaumont and many friends of Irish racing, which is a big thrill, because you perhaps know that Ireland is the largest producer of thoroughbred racehorses in Europe and number 3 in the world. And we're very proud of that. We're very proud of the links with Qatar and with Doha.
As you should be, and Gordon Lord Byron has been a firm favourite everywhere he's gone in the world. I think people have warmed to his connections, have warmed to the way he's been campaigned, aggressively, ambitiously, and very much with making a global impact in mind.
Absolutely, and he's a great encouragement to elderly folks like me. He's 10 years old. If he wins at 10 years old, we will take 2 hats off to him, not just 1.
Well said, Ambassador. Thank you very much indeed. Great to see you here.
Thank you very much.
Ambassador Paul Kavanagh, the Irish ambassador to Qatar.
انطلاقة كأس الخليج الخيل العربية الأصيل إنتاج مجلس التعاون الخليجي مسافة 1600 متر. أيجس عنفوان النشمي براق السامج للضم مبلج مقدام الزايدي ورصان ومجنون الشرس. هناك زهوة وكحيلة زيد وديبا وزيد نمرة في انطلاقة جميلة لديبا ومحاولة لبراء لخطف الصدارة من الجهة الداخلية. تقدم للجواد زيد نمرة ملك عائشة بنت يوسف محمد البلوشي بصدارة جميلة وقوية من وسط الجهاد. مقدام الزايدي ملك الشيخ فيصل بن حمد بن جاسم الثاني الثاني وإدواردو بدروزة بشكل جميل وقوي. وثنائية مجنونة وشرسة ملك سمو الشيخ خليفة بن محمد بن خليفة الثاني وكريستيانو وتيو باشلو. ومن وسط الجهاد مقدام الزايدي بشكل جميل وقوي. نقطة محطة 800 متر والصدارة مع براء السادة أم قرن وأوليفيه ميلي. محطة 700 والمنعطف ما قبل الأخير صدارة رباعية وجميلة وقوية لكأس الخليج. صدارة بشكل جميل وقوي. محاولة للتقدم من مبلش وهناك أيضا إعازات مبكرة من قبل الجواد زد اف نمرة ملك عائشة بنت يوزم البلوشي وعيسى البلوشي. المنعطف الأخير والموج الأزرق قادم مجنون ملك سمو الشيخ محمد بن خليفة بن حمد آل ثاني والضيوف أشلو. وهنا راسطان بطل الرمال والقادم من الجهة الخلفية تقدم للجواد مبلش والأمتار الأخيرة. نعم مبلش.
And we come to the presentation for our purebred Arabian feature race of the night, the Gulf Cup, and the winner was number 6, Meblish. And we're delighted to welcome onto the stage His Highness Sheikh Al Said, Tariq Al Said, and Nasser Al Kabi, the chairman here of QREC. And our congratulations first go to our winning jockey, Al Mutasim Al Balushi. It was a runaway success for the connections of Meblish. From Oman, we're delighted to congratulate our winning trainer, Bara bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Hajri. And our congratulations as well to the winning owner, Mr. Saad Suhail Salim Al Mukani Bahwan. So a commanding performance from this Omani contender. And success in this $100,000 feature race of the evening, the Gulf Cup. Our congratulations to all of the winning connections and jubilant scenes here on the winner's podium, as there were in the paddock as well, to the winner of the Gulf Cup 2018, Meblish.
So we come now, ladies and gentlemen, to the feature race on day 2 of His Highness the Emirs Sword Festival 2018. The Longines timepiece is ticking round to 7:15 off time for the Group 2 Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup. And the appearance in Qatar of global star Gordon Lord Byron. $200,000 is the purse. A first prize of $114,000, and the international field are now in the paddock for our feature race this evening. We'll start by having a look at number 1 here, the Jean-Baptiste Hamel ridden Al Mohalal, a horse who has been running respectively in stakes races here in Qatar, most recently behind Topsy Turvy. He was also third behind the Blue Eye 2 starts ago. It's respectable form, but he needs just to find a little bit more this evening.
Well, one horse who does come here in really good form is the Jassim Ghazali trained Black Granite, a winner last time here at Doha under slightly different conditions. It was 1,400 meters on that occasion, but he does have form over this trip as well. And Black Granite will be ridden by Harry Bentley, who's already been in the winner's enclosure so far this evening.
Don't entirely rule out the German contender here. Germany has a fine record here in Doha. Mario Hopper's a massive supporter of this Emirs Sword Festival, and he runs number 3, Diplomat, the mount of Alexander Peach, who's had such a fine recent run. This horse is a genuine European stakes performer. He hasn't been at his very best of late, and he is 7, but he's come here before and run well. 4th in the race last year, and there is Alexander Peach being briefed by Mario.
And that brings us on to the star of this evening. There he is, horse number 4, Gordon Lord Byron. 83 starts under his belt for this veteran 10-year-old. He's won in an incredible 4 countries at group level, 3 Group 1 contests as well. And he races here in Qatar for the first time, looking to add to that sparkling resume. He lines up here for Irish trainer Tom Hogan. He runs in the colours of Dr. Cyrus Poonawala and Morgan J. Callahan. And Billy Lee takes the mount.
Billy Lee, who was based here in Doha for some time, knows the track well, as does this man, Olivier Pellier, who rides Negev for Alban de Meules. Quite useful form in France, and a decent 5th in the Derby here behind McMahon. That'll give us a good idea as to where we are with him tomorrow. This race run over a significantly shorter trip, just 1,600 meters, may well bring about the requisite improvement.
Now the next horse is horse number 6, Not a Lot, who's trained here in Qatar by Ahmed Khamesi. Was a horse that was with Michael Bell in the UK, and he's won plenty out here. He's going to find it pretty hot company tonight, but not without a chance. Pier Antonio Convertino takes the ride.
We'll take a look at number 7 now. Looks in fine condition as well. This is the Al Shahania-owned gelding by Dan Silly, Oryx. And he's improving in common with a number of the Julian Smart trained thoroughbreds this season who are going well, but he'll need a career best to take this. Easy winner of a couple of 0 to 90 handicaps, 3rd in the trial behind Black Granite. Oryx, an upwardly mobile gelding. And there's the trainer.
Yeah, give his instructions to Theo Bachelot. There is horse number 8, Parks and Ride, for Carlo Fiocchi and Khalid Nassim Hamed Al Naimi. A horse who has form over the course and distance, but again, stepping into pretty hot water with this sort of company tonight.
Here's a fascinating runner, and perhaps one of the interesting local hopes, but he hasn't been talked about too much this time. Please Let Me Win. Arrived in Doha with a big profile, cost a lot of money at the horses in training sale. He's getting there, reasonable 4th last time out. And it would be interesting to see whether he can build on that for a stable that have already had 2 winners this evening. You're having a look there at the owner of Gordon Lord Byron, Dr. Cyrus Poonawala. Welcome him to Doha. And there's number 10, Sir Guy Porteous.
So Guy Porteous is trained by Jassim Ghazali, another in the field for him. Ridden by Oisin Murphy, one of the leading jockeys in the UK, and has been doing so well in Dubai this season as well. Injar Stud is the owner of this horse, and he's got a really good strike rate out here. He's got form that ties in very closely with Black Granite and also Oryx as well. Certainly one of the contenders in this field.
Let's take a look at number 11. There we are, the navy colours with the maroon stripe. That's Gerald Avranches riding for Stefano Ibido. That's Skate in the colours of Abdul Hadi Mana Al-Hajri. ex-European horse based in Britain. Since arriving in Doha, has done respectably, won a conditions race back end of November, has been sparingly campaigned since, may have needed the run last time. Not completely without hope.
The third of the Jassim Ghazali runners next, number 12, Third Dimension, a gelding by Dubawi. JP Guillenbert takes the mount, who comes in here in really good form. A horse who's been on the dirt most recently. He's switching to the turf today, and he does have to take a step forward here, but he's had the historic form to figure in a race of this nature.
And he looks fantastic as well. 13 here is Topsy Turvy, a winning machine, 10 from 23. And he's won over $500,000 Qatari reals. Winner of his last two. They've been good performances, but you fancy in this company, he's going to have to produce his very best, but he's in fantastic form. And he appears to be improving again after a spell in the wilderness at the age of 6.
And vitally important, is going to have to improve because he was behind Topsy Turvy, the aforementioned horse, last time out on the dirt. But he has the ability to win, and he's stepping back up in trip to his preferred distance of 1,600 meters. It was further last time on the dirt, but prior to that, running over a little bit shorter, which may not have suited quite as well as today's 1,600 meters. So he's a player, number 14, who closes the field for this feature race of the evening, the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup. And just thanks once again to our sponsors, Irish Thoroughbred Marketing, for this generous donation to the winning groom, and that award and that accolade has gone to horse number 5, Negev. So congratulations to the winning groom, Negev, who receives the very generous prize put up by our sponsors of $500 US. And delighted to have the Irish ambassador here as well this evening to hand over the winning check. And for this feature race, and there is the best turned out horse, number 5, Negev, looking in fine fettle.
That's right, Negev looking really good here. Dropping back to a mile today for Alban Demille. But it's a fast mile, a sharp mile here at Al Rayyan, and speed will be of the essence. The runners cantering to post. It is the feature, the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup. It's a Group 2. It'll be fascinating to see how this is run. All eyes on the horse at the back of shot there. That is Gordon Lord Byron in those red silks. And Mark, it's fantastic to have him here.
It is a real star on the world scene. 16 wins, 24 placings from 83 career starts, and if you translate all the prize money he has won around the world, it equates to more than 9 million Qatari Royales that he's won during his career. And as you were saying earlier on, those trio of Group 1 and Grade 1 races, the Foray in France, the Sprint Cup in the UK, and the George Ryder in Australia. And he has a rider on board who knows this track well, Billy Lee, breaking from gate number 7 today, Gordon Lord Byron. Bidding to become the second winner of this race to come from either the UK or Ireland, after Sovereign Debt 12 months ago from the UK. The runners now arriving at the starting point. There's the 10 times winner, Topsy Turvy. Salim Golem rides for Ibrahim Al Malki, who's already had a double at this His Highness the Emirs Sword Festival. One of the runners has been dismounted down at the start, and that will be Please Let Me Win, who was very, very much on his toes in the paddock. He just took a little bit of a grip on the way to the start. He's bidding to give trainer Jassim Ghazali a second win this race. He sent out Flying Destination to win in 2012. Flying Destination, the winner of the inaugural running of this race, when he was ridden to victory by Adre de Vries. So runners have now all arrived at the starting point. And the first one's moving forward, Al Mohal, will be followed in by Parks and Ride. Next to step forward will be Negwev, followed in by Third Dimension. There in the orange is Vitally Important. Oryx going forward. These very, very experienced international campaigners loading quite swiftly. As not only we await the running of our feature race of day 2 of His Highness the Emirs Sword Festival here at Al Rayyan, but we also welcome many viewers around the world watching on the webcast on the QREC website. Hope you've enjoyed our evening with us, and the best maybe still yet to come this evening as Sir Guy Porteous, one of the likely pace angles in this race and one of the stars of the handicap division here this season. Already 3 wins so far in Qatar this 2017-2018 season. Moving forward with Oisin Murphy. Pace angle but breaks wide from 13. Gordon Lord Byron still waiting out the back. Black Granite, another one of those who is still yet to move forward. Vitally Important, and Fala Bugenheim moving to stall number 3 goes in. To get a close-up view of the chestnut son of Pivotal, Vitally Important. Inside posts 1 and 2 yet to be filled by Please Let Me Win. And the German raider Diplomat, one of 2 internationally trained runners here. Diplomat still out of line, and so too is Not a Lot moving forward. Diplomat also moving forward. The winners of 77 races between them are in the gate. And they're off. In the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup Group 2, Negwev is taken back from his wide post, and so too is Oryx. And around the outside, the early pace is being put up by Sir Guy Porteous. Sir Guy Porteous goes on. Third Dimension will chase him, harry him around the outside. Almo Howhal is racing in 3rd position. On the inside, Please Let Me Win is in 4th. Not a Lot makes the turn in 5th. Diplomat's racing in 6th. Gordon Lord Byron in the red colours is in 7th. On the inside, Vitally Important, racing alongside the grey Skate. Parks and Ride at the moment is the back marker. Topsy-Turvy and Negwev and Oryx are also towards the rear of the field as they race now towards the final 800 in the 7th running of the ITM Cup. And the leader is Third Dimension. He leads now by over 2 lengths. 2 in 2nd, Sir Guy Porteous, and it's a well strung out field. Chasing through into 3rd now is Please Let Me Win. Almo Howhal around the outside is 4th and already been nudged along. Next to the field is Not a Lot around the outside with Diplomat, who's staying now towards the inside rail. Gordon Lord Byron, with less than 400 to go, is going to have to take a very, very wide course as they come into the home straight, and it is now Please Let Me Win who has gone and taken the lead. Vitally Important. On the inside is Diplomat. Still there is Sir Guy Porteous. Gordon Lord Byron begins to fly down the outside. 100 metres to go. Vitally Important. Please Let Me Win. Please Let Me Win may have just won the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup. Please Let Me Win and Vitally Important, followed home by Gordon Lord Byron and Diplomat. That is a photo finish for the win. A thrilling renewal of the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup. Please Let Me Win, taking a long time to pull up in the hands of Martin Harley. We're posting him as our unofficial winner. It's still officially a photo, but unofficially the 9, Please Let Me Win. Here's the run to the line. Please Let Me Win over on the far side. Vitally Important on the near side. Diplomat and then Gordon Lord Byron as they hit the wire. Please Let Me Win's maroon blinkers just in front. It'll be a short head, it may even be a nose, but Please Let Me Win looks as though unofficially he has given Jasim Ghazali a second win in this race, having taken it in 2012, the inaugural running with Flying Destination. He's now taken the 7th renewal and a first win in the race and a double on the night for Martin Harley. Unofficial winner of our featured 8th is Please Let Me Win.
Well, a thrilling conclusion to day 2 of His Highness the Emirs Sword Festival here in Doha. A horse of whom great things were expected when he was purchased and brought here to Qatar, and he has now delivered on the promise that he showed as a 2-year-old in Great Britain when he was trained by Rafe Beckett, who runs Chemical Charge in tomorrow's Emirs Trophy. Please Let Me Win wins, and Jasim Ghazali has a treble up on the night. And for Martin Harley, who arrived last evening, it has been a dream start here in Qatar. What a finish. A ground-saving trip for Please Let Me Win, and delight, jubilation from all the connections high up in the grandstand here. As night falls at Al Rayyan, Please Let Me Win has done just that in this $200,000 US Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup. Several really creditable performances in behind, vitally important, as given everything the 8-year-old in second. But stall 1 beat stall 3, and ground saving was crucial here. Excellent runs from the Europeans, Diplomat and also Gordon Lord Byron, 3rd and 4th. Gordon Lord Byron having to challenge very wide, has given his all again, but Please Let Me Win it is that comes back into the winner's circle victorious in the Group 2 Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup. Put your hands together once again for Martin Harley and Jasim Ghazali.
Martin saluting the crowd, dismounting. It's been a fantastic evening for these connections. And there could be more to come tomorrow on our feature day. Outstanding racing for you on the final day of this Emirs Sword Festival. But a finish like that has teed us up very nicely indeed. And Martin Harley just debriefing Jasim in the winner's enclosure. And this horse, Please Let Me Win, running in the colours of Injaz Stud, familiar colours here in Doha. And after a winless evening, a rare winless evening yesterday, Thursday, Jasim Ghazali has come roaring back with a vengeance this evening. Very impressive performance from his sprinter to take race 6 this evening. And that means that he has now won 44 races domestically. That's 22 clear of his nearest pursuer in the Trainers' Championship. And for the winning owners, Injaz Stud, a 21st success of the 2017-2018 season. And we're just waiting for a word with the winning jockey. As we do so, we'll have a word with the winning trainer, Jasim Ghazali. And Jasim receiving congratulations from the Irish ambassador, Paul Kavanagh. Jasim, well done. You expected great things from this horse when he came to Qatar. It's taken a little while, but he's got there now.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. You know, the horses when he has buying the England, I think he's have quality horses, but he's not lucky with me first maybe 3-4 run. I know the horses have something, but where they lose the quality of the horses. Alhamdulillah, today I think the horses do well, and the jockey Martin Harley before the race say for me, Jasim, I won this race. I think he's joking with me, but he say for me, I won this race.
He went into the race with maximum confidence.
Yes, I think, yeah, because you know when he's jockey, say Martin Harley, he ride the horses before the race. He say for me, I won because the jockey he think the horses have some quality to win this race. Alhamdulillah, and I say congratulations for the Sheikh Mish'al bin Hamad. Injaz owner and my brother Shail Kuwari, and this win not for me, for all Qatar, alhamdulillah.
Congratulations, Jassim. Let's have a word with the winning right.
Thank you.
And we heard there, Nick, Jassim praising Martin Harley and saying he was very confident pre-race that this horse was in with a great chance. What gave you such confidence, Martin?
I rode against him in Newbury when he won a Group 3. I was third in the race. Obviously, the form can change, him coming over here. But I was confident back to a mile. I think that's his proper trip. The pace was strong up front, and he made sure of that. And I think that played into my strengths because he stuck his head down all the way to the line. He's very tough.
And you bookended the card. For you personally, coming here to Qatar and winning a race of this quality, it must be quite a feat.
No, definitely. Group 2s are hard to win anywhere in the world, and for the trainer to pick me up today was he put his neck on the line for me. It was nice to get the result from.
Well done tonight, and best of luck. More to come tomorrow, hopefully.
Thank you.
Now the full official result of the 2018 running of the Irish Thoroughbred Marketing Cup Group 2. First, number 9, Please Let Me Win. Second, number 14, Vitally Important. Third, number 3, Diplomat. Fourth, number 4, Gordon Lord Byron. The fifth horse was number 1, Almo Halhal. Numbers 9, 14, 3 and 4 in a run time of 1:36.58 seconds. Race 8's now official.
انطلاقة كأس ايريش ثوربريد ماركتينج للدرجة الثانية مسافة 1600 متر. انطلاقة ل14 من الجيادة المهجنة الأصيلة. صدارة للجواد سيرجي بودريد ملك السادة. مربط إنجاز بشكل جميل وقوي. ومن الجهة الخارجية محاولات لنغيف ملك سيد باتريك الكسندر وأوليفي بيلي في الترتيب الثاني تخطف الصدارة. وفي الترتيب الثاني يأتي الجواد سيرجي بورتيز وتخطف الصدارة. والشعار الأزرق ملك السيد هيردن منشن والمسك السيد خليفة بن إشعيل الكواري وجيبي قمبر في انطلاقة جميلة وقوية. والصدارة لهذا الشوط القوي ونقطة 900 متر. المهلهل في الترتيب الرابع. ومن الجهة الداخلية ترقب للجواد بليز ليت مي وين مربط إنجاز وهاري بنتلي نقطة 800 متر. وتبتعد الصدارة بشكل جميل وقوي. والجواز بورتيت هناك سيد منشن في الصدارة جميلة وقوية لملك السيد خليفة بن إشعيل الكواري وجيبي كمبر 500 متر إلى خط النهاية. سيجا بورتيت في الترتيب الثاني تعطى الإعازات والأمتار الأخيرة. والقادم بليز ليت مي وين. ومن وسط الجهة تقدم للجواد دبلومات من الجهة الداخلية. وشعار النعيمي فرد المرتد من الجهة الخارجية. ولكن دبلومات من الجهة الداخلية. بليز ليت مي وين. وهناك بليز ليت مي وين. بليز ليت مي وين. نعم
So we come to the presentation for our final and most prestigious race of the second night of racing here at Al Rayyan as part of His Highness the Emir's Sword Festival. We are delighted to welcome once again Irish Thoroughbred Marketing, our sponsors, and their Chief Executive, Charles O'Neill, and he is joined on the presentation podium by His Excellency Paul Kavanagh, the Irish Ambassador to Qatar, and please congratulate the winning rider, Martin Harley. Please Let Me Win, an expensive purchase from the Horses in Training sales, and justifying that now this evening with this hugely important success, and it is a three-timer, a treble, a hat-trick, call it what you will on the evening, for Jassim Ghazali. And Please Let Me Win, Martin Harley in the silks of Injaz Stud, a 21st winner in those colours this domestic season, and representing them for the third time this evening. Welcome to the presentation podium, Mr. Khalifa bin Shail Al Kuwairi. Once again, our grateful thanks to Charles O'Neill and everybody in Irish Thoroughbred Marketing, and Your Excellency, thank you for your support of this Emir's Sword Festival here in Doha. And there is the framed print of Please Let Me Win, living up to his name with his nose just in front, but where it mattered, on the line to take the feature race this Friday evening at His Highness the Emir's Sword Festival. Many congratulations. That concludes proceedings this evening. Do join us again tomorrow for the final and most prestigious day of the Emir's Sword Festival 2018.